next watch includes the following counties in Nebraska: Burt, Cass, Dodge, Douglas, Odo, Sarpy, Saunders, and Washington, and the following counties in Iowa: Harrison, Mills, and Pottawatomie. Remember, a tornado watch means the conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA weather radio, broadcast radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. Repeating, Tornado Watch number 563 has been issued until 8 p.m. for the following counties in Nebraska: Burt, Cass, Dodge, Douglas, Odo, Sarpy, Saunders, and Washington, and the following counties in Iowa.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to the live stream. I hope everyone is doing great today. I hope everyone is doing all right. So we're gonna get into this here in a second. So, we're not gonna make a video for today because obviously we do have this event that's currently going on. We can just do everything that we normally do in our videos here. But like I said, guys, I hope y'all are doing great. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day other than all this severe weather that we're currently seeing. It kind of sparked off a little bit earlier than some of these models were actually anticipating. We started seeing initiations start to fire off around 2 or 3. We were actually expecting it to fire off a little bit later than that, so that's why we're a little bit early in terms of our live stream. I was planning on going live around 5, but it looks like we're going to be doing it a little bit early because we already have some things going on. So, guys, if you are new to the channel, I'm going to go ahead and say it out there. You guys can make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as leave a like. It'll be greatly appreciated. You guys are awesome. So, let's go ahead and get on into the live stream here. So, like I said, we already do have some storms firing off here, across bits of Nebraska as well as Kansas here. You can actually see we have several severe thunderstorm warnings in effect across this area here, as well as we actually do have a tornado warning in effect as well. For some reason, my GR was messing up, so we're just going to have to resort to using a radar scope for today's outbreak or today's severe potential. So, that's basically what we're just going to have for Polk as well as Hordeville and Silver Creek. I believe this has just been expanded. We actually only have 4 minutes. It's generally screaming for the most part. I mean, we're talking storm moving to the northeast at 70 miles per hour. These storms are moving 70 miles per hour. So our hazard is a tornado. This is a radar indicated threat. This is not a confirmed tornado. There actually is another tornado warning that looks like it might have just popped up here across St. Edwards, also towards Madison. This is in Nebraska, I believe. This one's moving to the northeast at 65 miles per hour. So, yeah, I mean, the storms are literally screaming. They are moving quite quickly in terms of everything. So, like I said, guys, I hope everyone is doing okay. I hope everyone's having a good day so far. Let me go ahead and make sure that the live stream is working okay for you guys. I want to go ahead and make sure that everything's fine. But, yeah. We do have those storms that are already firing off across bits of eastern parts of Nebraska and through bits of Kansas as well, just pretty much north of Wichita. You can see right here, it's pretty much going down as far as Hutchinson. I think that's how you pronounce that. But we do have several severe thunderstorm warnings in effect across those areas here in yellow for pretty much this whole entire line. So for today's severe potential, we actually do have not only tornadoes being a high probability, but we actually do have damaging winds as well. Which, honestly, it's kind of concerning to look at it that way. So, we're going to take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center here in a second. Just kind of, getting settled in here, making sure everything's working good in terms of our live stream. Hopefully, everything is all right. But, that's basically what we're looking at here. Let me pull up the live stream again, make sure everything's good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off by looking at the Storm Prediction Center. We do have a little bit of things currently going on. We actually do have a moderate risk, which honestly, I wasn't expecting this to go even enhanced. I was only expecting this thing to remain slight. But no, honestly, that's not the case for today's outlook. Storm Prediction Center has actually issued that moderate risk that we do see here in the red across the extreme eastern parts of Nebraska, moving its way mostly through Iowa here in that moderate risk, moving through southern parts of Minnesota, and through extreme western parts of Wisconsin. So we do have that severe threat which, this will be the second moderate threat that we've seen this year, It's kind of crazy. Okay, so in terms of tornadoes, we actually do have a significant chance. This was not significant yesterday, but it looks like that has been updated. Now it is a significant chance here, across this area here of Iowa and through bits of southern Minnesota into western parts, that non-significant across bits of, that 10% non-significant across the western parts of Wisconsin here in terms of everything. But, we do have that, significant tornado threat basically showing that every single 25 miles here in this kind of, dashed line here shows that we have a 10% chance of seeing a tornado EF2 all the way up to EF5 with the potential. So we actually do have a lot of shear in place for this event. This is basically just your winds at your upper atmosphere. Even from the lower to the upper atmosphere, the winds are screaming. These storm movements, like we were seeing on the radar view, these storm movements are moving around 70 miles per hour. See, this one right here is moving. This one's moving to the northeast at 85 miles per hour. Hazard 80 mile per hour wind gust and penny-sized hail. And that just really shows you the magnitude of how much heavy winds we have with this system. This area of low pressure is, quite strengthening quite quickly in terms of things. What's going on? Do you see that Arctic is here, or Courtney? Welcome, Courtney. As well as the other person, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. I hope everyone is doing good. But, that's basically what we're dealing with. These storms are screaming. We're talking 85 mile per hour, a movement from these storms. So things are quite crazy. So in terms of damaging winds, honestly, guys, this is showing a pretty big potential as well. We actually have a 45% chance of seeing significant winds, pretty much over 70, maybe even over 80 miles per hour. In some instances, maybe up to 90 miles per hour. We're seeing some really strong winds with this system. Storm movement is moving relatively quick. So these storms, once you get hit by these storms, it'll move quite quickly. But the threat is also amplified from this as well. We actually do have that large chance of seeing damaging winds 70 to 80 miles per hour, potentially even higher, according to this. And we actually do have that wind field stretching all the way south, across bits of central parts here. The plains moving all the way up to the upper Midwest here with that, risk kind of going on here. So it's quite interesting to see. Honestly, it's quite kind of crazy. So this one is more of a wind event compared to the last moderate risk we did have. For the moderate risk, the last one we did have a 15% chance of significant tornadoes. This one we have a 10% chance of significant tornadoes, basically a little bit lower. But the tornado threat is still there. It is still there, unfortunately. Even that damaging winds threat is much higher on this outlook, as we can, as that we saw on that that outbreak that occurred across bits of the Midwest into the Ohio Valley the other day. This one is a lot more, wind intensive in terms of this is going to be producing a lot more damaging winds in terms of things. So this is kind of a crazy event. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the Mesoscale Analysis. This is basically current data based off of this here. So in terms of, CAPE, this is basically your instability. Honestly, I was quite, concerned in terms of, how much instability we'll actually have in the atmosphere today. I actually thought it was going to be, quite weak. However, this is actually really starting to show itself, maybe even near the, maybe even near 1,000 in some cases here. We do have a lot of instability in some areas here, which is honestly a little bit more than what we were forecasting, or at least those models were saying. We do have some pockets of high instability, as well as all that strong shear that we are seeing. We might actually have some instances of potentially some of those, crazy, storms really popping off, from those, large amounts of instability, as well as all that shear that we currently have. So here's the area of low pressure. It's currently tracked across bits of the central parts here of Nebraska with a 986 millibar low. That is a really strong area of low pressure. We actually do see the sharp gradient here of those isobars, basically just, your areas of equal pressure here. But honestly, it's quite crazy to look at. We do have, some heavy winds in effect with this one right here. So in terms of what's going on ahead of the storm, we do have a decent amount of instability, definitely enough to get some craziness going on. We definitely do have, that all that shear in effect, basically all those winds at the upper and lower levels of the atmosphere, which is allowing for these thunderstorms to organize quite rapidly. To be honest with you guys, it's kind of crazy how much shear we actually do have. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at downdraft CAPE. So we're actually clocking in, about 900, which actually might allow for some damaging winds to occur. Across this area here, we're talking around maybe 800, but this is enough to get some of those damaging winds occurring here. So we're going to take a look here at the radar view. It actually looks like we do have a new tornado warning in effect. We actually have 3 tornado warnings in effect, it looks like, or 4 of them. Some of them are being old here. But we do have those in effect, across bits of Nebraska, pretty much, eastern parts of Nebraska, east central parts of Nebraska here. In those areas here in red, showing those tornado warnings that we currently do have going on right here. So we're going to go and take a look here at the velocity view. This is basically looking for rotation inside of these storms. Like we said, we do have a lot of heavy winds are actually indicated right here. If we take a look at this, this is really showing that we have, winds that the radar's picking up over, 80 miles per hour in some instances, which is quite crazy. It does look like we actually have a relatively strong couplet here, a relatively strong area here of rotation. Basically across this one, you're basically just southeast of St. Edwards. You can see right here with a 73 miles per hour winds moving towards the radar, and 40 something moving away from the radar. So there is rotation going on with this storm. It's quite intensive in terms of things, but like I said, we do have those tornado warnings that are in effect across these areas here, basically across east central parts of Nebraska here. So guys, if you are in these warnings, if you guys know anyone in these warnings, definitely make sure to let them know, because honestly, today's severe weather is quite crazy in the fact that we could see some decent amount of severe weather today. So that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of that. So now we're going to take a look here at the super res correlation coefficient. This is basically taking a look in scanning, for debris that's up in the atmosphere. So in terms of what is currently going on here, it looks like we do have a little bit of spikes going on, but this might be because of those ice crystals up in the upper atmosphere. I do not think this is debris. I do believe these are just radar indicated rotation threats. I do not believe that they are currently on the ground, which that is actually a good thing. But honestly, we are still in that tornado warning, so you should still take action based off of this. Every single tornado warning, regardless if there's a tornado on the ground or not, you should still treat it as if there is a tornado on the ground, and not just ignore it. A lot of people have ignored all these warnings, which has honestly not been good. This has honestly led to a lot of fatalities, unfortunately, because people aren't really listening, and a lot of people don't listen to these tornado warnings because they just don't think that they're going to get a tornado. In which you should really definitely take these very seriously, because they are life-threatening storms. Especially today, we have some pretty crazy storms in effect. We have a lot of damaging winds as well, which with that tornadic-like wind speeds. Even if you're not having a tornado, these wind speeds are near tornado force, and they'll definitely do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. We're talking winds potentially over maybe up to 90 miles per hour. In some cases. These storms are moving almost at 100 miles per hour. So these storms are screaming. They are moving quite quickly. So guys, if you are under a severe thunderstorm warning, even for today, guys, please, take action based off of that. Even if you are in a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning, take it as you are in a tornado warning, because these are producing some, heavy winds along with it. We'll go ahead and take a look here at this one right here, the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. So this one's showing 80 mile per hour wind gusts. You got to think, this is over hurricane force. This is over hurricane force, as well as, penny-sized hail as well. Tornado possible, because they can definitely pop off in these linear systems quite quickly in terms of things. So, honestly, there's a lot of craziness that's currently going on here. We're going to take a look here at another severe thunderstorm warning here near St. Edwards. This is basically just to the northeast of the this is basically just to the northeast here of the area of low pressure here. This one's showing right here. Look at this. This one is showing that this is a train spotter reported, and automated observations have reported 70 to 85 winds or mile per hour winds with this storm. So this is already observed. We're seeing those winds 70 to 85 miles per hour. This one's showing a hazard of 80 mile per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. But look at this. Storms are moving to the northeast at 80 miles per hour as well. So these storms are going to be, they're going to come through the area quite quickly. But the hazards they're going to bring along with them are also going to be amplified. So that's just something you guys got to keep in consideration, because, this is really not pretty. And the fact that, this is kind of concerning. We do have a lot of severe weather that's expected today. So we're just in the beginning of it, unfortunately. this is still going to be going on for the next several hours in terms of things. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center. Hold on a second. We're getting a ping here on our Discord server. Yeah, we're having 95 mile per hour movement with some of these storms. Wow, look at that. So we're going to go back to the radar real quick. I want to take a look at this. Which storm is this near? We'll take a look here at this storm right here. Because, you know, this one actually showed that it was moving near 95. This one's moving at 75 miles per hour. This one's moving at 65 miles per hour. You know, they're kind of all over the place. This is just radar estimated, too. This one's moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. What about this one? These tails like to move quite quickly, too, sometimes. This one's moving at 60, so this one's a little bit slower. But just in terms of that, I mean, these storms are screaming. Yeah, so the further you do go down, it actually does look like the winds do, or the storm movement, you know, quite lowers a bit. But look at this. This one's moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. Someone on my server actually just wrote and pinged me and said that, you know, they sent me the warning, and it shows that these storms are moving. Some of these storms are moving at 95 miles per hour. Just imagine that, a 95 mile an hour storm moving its way through your area. I mean, that doesn't mean that that's going to be the winds. However, we actually do have the possibility of seeing those winds today, potentially over 80 miles per hour in some instances, in which it looks like we already have some reports of 70 to 85 mile per hour winds, according to that one warning that we did actually see there. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here. We're going to go back to the Storm Prediction Center real quick. I want to go ahead and take a look here. If we do have any reports in terms of things, you know, I want to go wait for this thing to load a little bit. But I want to double check and see if we have any reports in terms of, you know, current, you know, some of those winds and stuff. We do have an EAS coming through, so we're going to go ahead and listen to this. We'll go ahead and see what this has to say. You know, honestly, it's probably a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. You never know. Let's go ahead and find out and see what this says.
The National Weather Service in Omaha has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for.
That's a warning. Let's listen to this, though.
Western Washington County, Lancaster County in southeastern Nebraska, southeastern Dodge County, western Johnson County in southeastern Nebraska, western Odo County in southeastern Nebraska, western Douglas County, western Pawnee County in southeastern Nebraska, Saunders County, Gage County in southeastern Nebraska, western Cass County in southeastern Nebraska, until 4:15 p.m. At 2:53 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 5 miles southeast of Stroudsburg to Alaska, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour.
Speed is 65.
These are destructive storms. Expected hazards include 80 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following effects are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. Extensive tree damage and power outages.
Yeah, these are crazy.
Locations impacted include Beatrice, Pickrell, Cedar Bluffs, Fremont, Englewood, Arlington, and Sterling. This includes Interstate 80 in Nebraska between mile markers 397 and 432. A tornado watch remains in effect until...
So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the tornado watch here in a second. I just want to wait for this EAS to finish real quick.
Protection moved to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. This is a dangerous situation. These storms are producing widespread wind damage across southeast Nebraska. Seek shelter now inside a sturdy structure and stay away from windows. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for southeastern and east.
I think it just got cut off. But you heard it. I mean, we're talking up to 80 mile per hour winds here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center side of things. Let's see if we have or if we have any reports. We already have 48 wind reports, 2 tornado reports already for today. That's already crazy. I mean, this event's just now starting to go off. I mean, you got to think, we still have quite a bit of time for this to go on, too. And we already have 48 wind reports. I mean, I only expect this to probably go in the hundreds today, because it definitely went in the hundreds the other day, but the other day was more of a tornado threat in terms of things. This one is actually a wind threat and a tornado threat. So, in terms of things, you know, in terms of the winds, the upper atmosphere, they are screaming. And it's crazy. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the tornado watch they currently have in effect here. Yeah, look at this. So we do have the overall tornado threat at a high 70%. So across the tornado watch here, this does include eastern Nebraska, northeastern parts of Kansas. This is moving through northwestern parts of Missouri and through central and western parts of Idaho. Or sorry, that's not Idaho, that's Iowa. I usually get those mixed up every once in a while. And then we do have that tornado watch that's in southern parts of Minnesota as well. So this is the tornado watch number 563. This will be in effect until, we'll go and see, this is in effect until 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. This is 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So that tornado warning is, or a tornado watch is in effect. Now we do have the overall chance of tornadoes at a high, the chance of EF2 and higher tornadoes actually at a moderate, probably a 50% chance maybe, a 40% chance here. We have the severe winds at a high, as well as the 65 knot plus winds also at a high. In terms of hail, hail is kind of a low concern for today, as these are mostly, tornado and wind-driven systems. But hail, is still a chance. It's not completely out of the question, but it's there, as we do actually have a hail threat in effect. We'll actually take a look at that here in a second. So it does look like we do have another EAS coming through. But look at this. This one's showing right here, damaging winds and isolated significant gusts up to 90 miles per hour is likely. That's over hurricane force. Okay, we have a tornado warning. Let's go and listen to this.
Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles south of Columbus, moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. Expected hazards include tornado and quarter-size hail.
Here it is right here.
This is a radar-indicated threat rotation. The following impacts
threat rotation.
flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damaged roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Damage is likely. Locations impacted include Clarkson, Dodge, and Howells. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows.
Yeah, look at this. We have rotation going on right here.
Outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been
Look at that.
until 3:30 p.m. for the following counties in Nebraska.
This is showing estimated winds from radar over 100 miles per hour at this one spot. And this is scanning, I don't know exactly how high, this one doesn't really say. Actually what I can do is do this. Radar is back here. So this is around 9,000 feet up. Radar is estimating around 100 mile per hour winds, according to this. But this is not at the surface. I want you guys to know that. But we do have some rotation. I mean, these winds are screaming in terms of things. I mean, these things are moving really quickly. So in terms, we're going to take a look here at correlation coefficient, see if there's any tornadic debris in the upper atmosphere or the mid-levels of the atmosphere, depending on where this is scanning. So we do have, obviously, some differential going on here. But, honestly, I do believe this is just scanning ice particles. I do not believe this is tornadic debris. This is not tornadic debris. This is just, probably scanning some hail in the upper atmosphere as it is colder up there. But, we'll keep an eye on correlation coefficient because that's definitely a key component to see if these tornadoes actually go confirmed. Because this will actually show up as tornadic debris in the upper atmosphere. So, but that's basically what we're dealing with there. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here back here. We're going to go ahead and go to the mesoscale analysis. We're going to take a look here at the current instability side of things. So, this is actually showing a decent amount of instability. And we're talking, I mean, it's not too much. I mean, it's honestly kind of limited. But for this time of the year, it's definitely enough to get the job done. I mean, we're obviously seeing this already verifying here. As we already do have, a lot of those strong storms already popping off here with, especially all those damaging winds that we currently see. So we're actually seeing, instability values just over, around the 700 range. You can actually see here, 700 and up. Some instances over 1,000, which, is supportive of some severe thunderstorms. So it should be good enough. However, where it gets you is where the shear is. We actually do have a lot of heavy shear in effect across this area here. You know, this surface to 6 kilometer shear. We're actually seeing, you know, this is well over 50 knots of shear, which is honestly quite crazy in terms of things. Let's go ahead and see here. I want to go ahead and, I didn't mean to take a screenshot. But basically, you know, this is really crazy what we're seeing going on here. We have a lot of shear in place. We have a lot of instability in terms of things. And overall, it's quite a crazy event. You know, this is definitely a big concern for today in terms of things. We'll go and take a sounding here, or basically, you know, a plot here. This is showing, you know, a decent amount of instability, over 1,000 joules per kilogram, which is well enough. Effective shear in terms of knots is at 60. It is well over what is normally needed, which is good. Elliptic condensation level is only at 1,000 meters. Definitely supportive of a few tornadoes here. We have, you know, supercell composite at 4.7, but that's basically just the parameter between instability and shear here. So in terms of this area of low pressure we're currently seeing here, it's actually located across the central part. The pivot point here is located across the central part here of Nebraska. You know, this is really showing a lot of those, you know, this is really showing a relatively strong area of, you know, low pressure. 986 millibars. I believe this actually does, you know, let me remove that. I believe this actually does, you know, equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane in terms of your area of low pressure here. This is definitely producing, you know, not just in damaging winds alone, but this is actually producing some crazy, you know, some crazy winds as well. I mean, if we take a look here, we'll actually take a look at that here in a second. We'll go ahead and go over to the pivotal weather here. But in terms of, you know, in terms of those warnings and stuff we have actually out here, we'll take a look here at the National Weather Service hazards. We look at all this. We have all these high wind warnings in effect. This is basically across this area here, kind of in that darkish yellow color. For the yellow, we actually are under a tornado watch and a severe thunderstorm warning. Kind of in the orange here, it's kind of hard to see because they're all kind of, you know, compact together. But, you know, look at this. We have a lot of high wind warnings in effect, you know, across bits of the plains, moving its way in through bits of the Midwest here, as you can see, basically across this. We actually do have those wind advisories stretching out even further, basically across bits of the southern plains, moving in through the Midwest and into the Ohio Valley here. Actually, some across bits of the western parts of New York State. You know, basically the wind advisory shows that gusty winds are expected. You know, this is due to this really, really strong area of low pressure we do see right here, clocking in at 986 millibar, which is really strong. This is really strong. And all those gusty winds will be felt. I mean, not, you know, the non-thunderstorm, this is non-thunderstorm winds, by the way. But, you know, we're potentially seeing these winds go over, maybe over, you know, 70 miles per hour in some instances, which, you know, honestly, it is quite crazy. You know, it's really kind of quite crazy to look at here. We actually do have those red flag warnings in effect across this area here in pink, basically just showing that, you know, fire weather is possible, just to alert all your firefighters that, you know, fire weather might break out. You know, this is caused due to those gusty winds that we do see, allowing for fires to spread quickly. This is also caused, you know, by low relative humidity. This is behind, behind that front system, so it's relatively dry for the most part. So, you know, this is actually, you know, is kind of showing the threat as we might actually see. We actually might see some, you know, wildfires break out as well. So not only are we seeing the potential for tornadoes, you know, damaging winds, as well as, you know, just winds in general, we're seeing the threat for wildfires as well. I mean, a lot of people don't even know that, but we do actually have that wildfire threat across bits of the central plains as well. In here, near the pink, basically just alert all your firefighters, like I said. You know, the fire weather actually might break out, which is, you know, quite concerning. So we're going to go back to the radar view, take a look here, see if there's anything significant. It looks like those tornado warnings, or some of those tornado warnings, have been canceled. We do still have 2 in effect, you know, for Nebraska. This does include bits of Butler as well as Dodge. You can see right here, this is basically over Columbus. But this is, you know, this is showing that tornado warning that is in effect here. So we do have that. If you guys are, you know, in this area, if you're near this area, I recommend, you know, I seriously, you know, want to push you to go into a safe spot. You know, even if you're in these severe thunderstorm warnings, you know, due to how strong these severe thunderstorm warnings are today, seriously, guys, you need to, you need to be in the shelter room regardless. You know, because this is already producing. Like, these thunderstorms alone are producing near tornado-like wind speeds. I mean, we're seeing some instances already, potentially up over, you know, 80 miles per hour, up to 85 miles per hour, according to what some of these warnings actually have to say. So if we go back here, I want to go ahead and pull this out. So this one says hazard at 80 miles per hour winds. with your your hail up to penny size here. We actually do. This is actually moving to its way. It's basically moving its way to the northeast at 65 miles per hour here. Now, of course, you do move to the northern parts of the system. This is basically where you're going to get your fastest moving storms. This one's actually moving, near 70 miles per hour here. And this one's, this one's moving to the northeast at 70 miles per hour. But the hazard is showing 80 mile per hour wind gusts. So, like I said, these thunderstorms are producing well over hurricane wind gusts. These people are not expected to see, or they're not really used to this. You got to think. I mean, it's quite kind of crazy to look at. But, honestly, it's definitely there. We do have those really strong winds, just even the winds in general behind this system. We're starting to see really heavy winds already across the plains as itself, but we also do have that, thunderstorm wind threat as well. Honestly, it's quite concerning in terms of things. So that's just what we're going to have to continue monitoring here. We're going to take a look here at the reflectivity side of things, basically just the normal mode here in terms of radar just scanning, looking for precipitation. I mean, look at this. This is this nasty squall line we see here. You can actually see where the area of low pressure is located right here. Just based off of this right here, you can actually see that right here. This is right where the area of low pressure is located. With the colder air behind here, actually all that, all those thunderstorms popping off. So we actually do have another EAS coming through. So let's go and tune into this, and let's see what this one has to say. It looks like we might have another tornado warning in effect. So I bet you that's what that is. So we'll go and listen in. Nope, this one's severe thunderstorm warning. Alright. Yeah, but those look like we actually do have another tornado warning as well. Oh, I think it was this one right here. Just east of Lincoln. No, I don't think this is the one. Which one was it then? See, my GR was messing up a bit, so I had to use radar scope today, and I can't go back on the warnings, unfortunately. Okay, this one's actually showing ping pong ball size hail, guys. Wow. There it is, right there. Look at this. Overturned trucks already reported. Ping pong ball size hail. This does include Maple Creek as well as West Point here, Montgomery, Oakland as well.
Tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for northeastern and east central Nebraska. Repeating.
All right, well, I guess we're not going to be repeating it. It seems like these EASs are starting to get kind of cut off with some of these. But look at this. I mean, we're already having reports here of trucks overturned as well as wind gusts of 60 to 85 miles per hour. This is a report from a train spotter. So we are actually seeing those crazy winds already in effect, when they're already causing damage on the roadways. Some trucks are already being blown over on some of those high-profile vehicles. It's kind of crazy, seeing all that go on there. So, guys, just please be safe today. Like I said, if you are in the threat for severe thunderstorms, regardless if you're in a tornado warning or not, you should be taking shelter, because some of these storms alone are actually producing, pretty much over, near over hurricane wind speeds there. So honestly, it is quite crazy in terms of things. So guys, just please be safe today, because things are not really going so well. But we'll continue monitoring this for you guys, over today. I do plan on live streaming for quite some time here, but guys, just please stay safe in terms of things, because honestly, today is going to be kind of crazy. So we're going to go ahead and go over the Day 1 Convective Outlook. This is your thunderstorm forecast from the Storm Prediction Center. So if you guys are anywhere in the marginal, basically the dark green, all the way to the red, you do have a threat for severe weather for today. Especially the red area kind of showing the worst for today. The worst hasn't even started, unfortunately, guys. The worst has not even started. I mean, we're already seeing these thunderstorms across basically bits of eastern Nebraska and through central parts of Kansas here. So if we take a look here, based off in terms of, near Nebraska, this is only really starting to move its way into the slight and enhanced region. We still have the moderate region to go through. This is on extreme eastern Nebraska, and that's not even the biggest threat for today that we're currently seeing going on right now. So the biggest threat will actually, occur across, mostly Iowa here, as well as basically southeastern parts of Minnesota, with that, that moderate risk in effect. So in terms of tornadoes, we actually do have a large 10% chance of seeing significant tornadoes, basically showing that every single 25 miles you have a 10% chance of seeing tornadoes EF2 all the way up to EF5. We do have that larger 5% as well as that 2% region, stretching all the way from the Central Plains all the way up through bits of the upper Midwest here, basically showing that, either a 5 or a 2% chance of seeing tornadoes every single 25 miles in general is there. Now, for today's threat, we do have that large wind threat for today. I mean, we're seeing those winds up and over, potentially, over, 80 miles per hour, maybe even some even higher potentially. So we do have that significant wind threat in effect as well. Really, this one's really stretching out far in terms of significant from the central parts of the plains, moving all the way up and through bits of the Midwest here, as you can see. Now, in terms of hail, we actually do have a hail threat as well. Relatively small. The hail threat is the smallest threat for today. But in terms of that, overall, we do have, quite a bit of craziness going on today in terms of tornadoes and winds, kind of being the biggest threat. Definitely those winds seem to be the #1 threat for this event, but tornadoes not far behind it at all, as we are seeing, those tornado warnings still popping off here just across the northeastern quadrant of this area of low pressure, which we're currently seeing across bits of Nebraska as we are speaking here. So, we do have all of these, all these all these severe thunderstorm watches in effect across this area here. Hazards showing 80-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. But this one was crazy. We just heard into this one's showing 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and ping-pong ball-sized hail. Now, guys, you might be thinking that that's pretty large hail, which it is, but you got to think that these gusts of wind over, potentially over, 80 miles per hour, guys, this is causing a lot of mayhem, because you got to think that these ping pong ball size hail is moving at 80 miles per hour. This is like fast as a bullet. You got to think that this is going to cause a lot of damage, not only to your vehicles, but this is actually concerning to houses too. This will actually, this will damage houses as well. Those hailstones will go straight through your wind, or basically straight through the windows here, in which, honestly, it's kind of crazy, in fact, in terms of things. So, guys, just please be safe for today. We do have a lot of craziness that's currently going on here. But I just hope that everyone stays safe in terms of this, because, obviously, there is some craziness going on here. So, like I said, we do have those tornado warnings are in effect. We'll go ahead and zoom in here. This has been a little bit slow. Sorry I couldn't bring up my GR2 analyst today. For some reason, it was kind of glitching out on me, so we just had to resort to using radar scope for today. So we do have 3 tornado warnings in effect. This is for Nebraska, eastern parts of Nebraska. This does include Madison as well as Stanton here. We actually do have, areas such as Duncan, Columbus, as well as Clarkson, Dodge, Maple Creek, Bellwood, as well as Richland inside of these tornado warnings. So in terms of this is showing that these are just radar indicated threats. This is just showing that the radar has indicated rotation. This does not mean that the tornado is on the ground right now. However, you should still treat it as if a tornado is on the ground. Regardless, guys, you should treat any tornado warning as if there is a tornado on the ground, because, guys, you guys really, you got to think about that. Because a tornado can pop off at any minute. These guys know what they're doing at the Weather Service. That's why they post these warnings. They're not there for no reason. They issue that for your all's safety. Especially today, I can go ahead and tell you that as a perspective, as being a forecaster for over 5 years now. Guys, definitely, you guys really need to be paying attention for this event, because this one is not pretty. We did see that severe weather that happened the other day as well. We're just in the pattern that we're seeing a lot of severe weather for this time of the year, which is, quite rare to see, one after another. This is the second moderate risk that we have for severe weather in this month alone, which, is quite crazy in terms of things. So, guys, please be on the lookout today. Like I said, if you are in a severe thunderstorm warning for today, you should treat it as if you're in a tornado warning as well, because these are really damaging winds. These will cause damage themselves. So guys, just please be careful for today. Now guys, we just reached 120 subscribers, so guys, thank you all so much for all your support. You guys are awesome, and if you guys are not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. You guys are honestly amazing, and I appreciate all your support, so thank you so much for that. So I'm going to continue giving you all coverage today. I'm probably going to be live for a long time today because, this event, unfortunately, is just starting to go off. We haven't even reached the moderate threat We haven't even reached that moderate threat yet, because these severe storms, if we take a look here, it's across eastern Nebraska, as basically moving, east central parts of Kansas here. You can see right where the area of low pressure is kind of located near Grand Island here, basically across, south central parts of Nebraska. This is right where that area of low pressure is located. It's, it's rotating counterclockwise. If we actually play this back a little bit, I'll actually load this. You can actually see how it's rotating counterclockwise. This is a really strong area of low pressure, and it's only strengthening. It's only getting stronger, which is allowing for those winds to even pick up even more. So we do have the chance. We could potentially see even higher wind gusts. Like I said, we're just now moving into, just a threat. But once this storm system starts moving its way across bits of Iowa here, that's really when things are really going to start going off on things. So guys, just definitely please be careful for today, because things are getting quite crazy, and they definitely are only going to get worse from here on out as time does go on. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the models real quick. That's something we have not done yet. We're going to pull up Tropical Tidbits real quick. Take a look here at the models in terms of things. So this is your GFS model. Let's go and see here. So Severe Thunderstorm Watch looks like it's just been issued. I just got an alert for Kansas City. Looks like a Severe Thunderstorm Watch has just been issued. It expires at 7 o'clock p.m. So we're going to stay tuned for that. I don't know if they're going to issue the EAS on this channel. I'm actually monitoring Omaha, Nebraska. This is, extreme eastern Nebraska here. But I don't know if they're in the Severe Thunderstorm Watch. But we'll actually take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center here in a second. So this is basically what's going on here. This was the run from earlier today. We do have this really strong area of low pressure developing. This is actually potentially causing some snow to fall across bits of the upper Midwest as well. I mean, we're seeing all that severe weather across bits of the Midwest here, but we're also seeing some snow, really not far away from where those thunderstorms just hit. Maybe, just a few hundred miles. Basically falling across bits of Minnesota here into bits of the Dakotas, as you can see here. Relatively heavy snow is probably going to occur because of how strong this area of low pressure is. I mean, this is only showing it strengthening even more, because if we take a look here back at the Mesoscale Analysis in terms of things, this is showing that we are seeing an area of low pressure of 986 millibars, which is, almost equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane. Honestly, that's kind of crazy to think about, and they're seeing over hurricane force winds. So this is pretty much a land hurricane, if you want to call it that. And this thing's only strengthening as this thing does track its way to the northeast. You can see 983 millibars here. This is currently at 986, here. So this will track and potentially even go in the 70s, 970s, as it goes to the upper parts of the Midwest here. Further down the line, this thing will track up into Canada, potentially causing a lot of snow to fall up there. Then we'll actually have another system. Yeah, take a look at this, guys. We'll actually have another system develop across bits of the Midwest. Kind of have a lot of precipitation kind of linger in from that cold front from this system that we're currently seeing. It's going to kind of linger in for a bit, track its way to the northeast. And honestly, over the last several models, we're going back down another model. We're going back down several models. Look at this. Several models. Look at this. We're seeing continuous runs here of showing all that snow occurring across bits of the northeast. And honestly, this is already showing up on the ECMWF model too. This is your European model. So this is showing a lot of verification that this snowstorm actually might occur across the northeast. This actually will be for this weekend. So guys, if you are in the northeast, brace for some snow, as it's definitely possible, further down the line. Then we'll have high pressure build in across the Ohio Valley, leading to some nice conditions. Might be a little bit chilly, from that cold air that's backing behind the system. And then further down the line, it's looking like that. But, I don't really like to go too far out in these models because, the more further you do go out, the more inaccurate they do tend to get. So that's just something to have to look at there. So let me go ahead and look at this. Go ahead and make sure Everything is fine. So Jake says, is this going to hit Wisconsin? Yes, this will hit Wisconsin. Wisconsin is in a threat. We'll go and pull up the Storm Prediction Center here. Wisconsin, especially central and western parts of Wisconsin, you are in a threat for severe weather. In terms of tornadoes, winds and actually hail across the western parts of Wisconsin. Pretty much Wisconsin as a whole is expecting the potential for some severe weather today. So yes, for your question, Jake, we are expecting some severe weather to occur. So, but anyways, guys, if you are new to the channel, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as leave a like. It would be greatly appreciated. You guys are awesome, and honestly, you are absolutely crushing the goal. We already went over 100 subscribers just in the last stream. We're already up to 120. So, guys, thank you guys so much for all your support. It seriously means a lot to me, and I'm gonna continue, guys, giving you guys coverage and on these outbreaks and stuff. Honestly, I was quite surprised to see just how quickly that this was updated, because it went from a slight risk yesterday in my video. We looked at it; it was a slight risk, and now today, they just updated it to a moderate risk, which is crazy. They literally skipped the enhanced risk of severe weather, severe threat level 3 out of 5. They just went straight to moderate. They went from the area here in yellow, just to straight to red. Honestly, that's kind of crazy to think about, but they literally just jumped the bullet there. So in terms of where your moderate risk, in terms of these, major cities, you can see it right here where I highlighted. In terms of all your, major cities here, this is basically what we're dealing with in terms of things. So, in general, we are expecting a lot of severe weather to occur here. The main threat being across bits of, southern parts of Minnesota, southeastern parts of Minnesota, and through bits of Iowa here, kind of showing the biggest threat, as well as extreme eastern parts of Nebraska. Now, like I was saying earlier, looks like we actually do have another tornado warning in effect here. But this is actually just north of Lincoln here. But like I was saying, this line of thunderstorms is just now starting to reach the eastern side of Nebraska. And guys, if we look here at the Storm Prediction Center, the eastern part of Nebraska is just pretty much in the enhanced region. So we actually are kind of approaching that moderate risk across the western side here of Nebraska. But the biggest threat is once this system generally tracks its way in through bits of Iowa. That's when we're going to see the biggest threat for the severe weather today. So, let's go and see what this says. Widespread severe gusts of 60 to 75 mile per hour winds, with a few tornadoes likely early tonight. But yeah, so this is basically going to be an event going on through tonight. From now in the evening, or basically now in the afternoon, all the way through tonight. So we still have, this is pretty much just the beginning of this event, unfortunately. And we're seeing a lot of things already going on here. So we're going to take a look here at this Lincoln tornado warning here. We're going to see what this one has to say in terms of things. So we're going to pull this one up. This one is a radar indicated rotation. So this one's saying that a tornado is not on the ground. Does not mean it won't be on the ground. It just means that currently this is just this is just a rotation threat estimated by radar. This storm itself is moving to the northeast at 85 miles per hour. That just shows you how fast these winds are moving, which is kind of crazy to look at. But these, this warning will be expired at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time, so this still has 33 minutes left in it. So, but yeah, we do have that tornado warning in effect. This does include Raymond as well as Malcolm, as well as Pleasantdale. So if you guys are in this, I recommend definitely be in your shelters. I mean, even if you guys are in this severe thunderstorm warning, you really should be in your shelter because, guys, these winds that we're currently seeing is over hurricane force, near, tornado force here. We're seeing, 80 mile per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Some of these storms were even showing the reporters or, spotters saying, 60 to 85 mile per hour winds have been recorded with this storm. So, that's just something that we really got to be looking at because honestly kind of crazy here. We do have, those reports already starting to come in. We've even seen earlier, we did have a report of a truck that's already been overturned here. What is this? Snow squall warning. We literally have a snow squall warning less than... Hold on a second. Guys, I want you to take a look at this. This is quite interesting. Let me know what you guys think about this. Look at this. Literally... Okay, we'll actually measure this from here all the way to here. Literally less than 150 miles from a tornado warning, we have a snow squall warning. What do you guys think about that? Look at this. We're seeing a snow squall warning happen right here. what does this one have to say? We're going to go ahead and take a look here at the details. This is showing, you know, a dangerous snow squall. This one's showing sources of radar and webcams. I've never seen that before. Extremely poor visibility and heavy snow. Dangerous, life-threatening travel here between Highway 2, or Highway 2 between mile markers, 220 and 242. Highway 83 between mile markers 116 and 137 here. This is really showing some crazy things. It says reduce your speed and turn on your headlights during these squalls. This is showing near whiteout conditions. Honestly, quite crazy. So, let's go ahead and take a look here. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave it down in the chat below, and I'll make sure to get to them for you guys. If you guys have any, questions regarding this. So, that's kind of crazy to think about. Just how we have all these tornado warnings, and we have this squall warning, the snow squall warning, literally just less than 150 miles away from the severe weather that's currently happening. It's quite crazy. So we do have an expired tornado warning here for Dodge in Nebraska, eastern Nebraska here. So we are just now starting to hit that moderate risk. That moderate risk is across bits of extreme eastern parts of Nebraska. Pretty much around pretty much just north of Omaha. Looks like we do have another severe thunderstorm warning here for this area here. So this one expires in 1 hour. So in terms of this, we're actually taking a look here. This one's 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail here. This thing's moving to the northeast at 65 miles per hour. Tornado possible here. But regardless, quite crazy to see all this going on. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here back at the models in terms of things. We're going to take a look here at the HRRR. This is your high-resolution rapid refresh. This is your American model in terms of things. So we're going to take a look here in terms of what this one has to say about this severe weather. So we're going to zoom in through bits of the north-central U.S. We're going to go all the way back to forecast hour 01 here. There you go. You have all this severe weather starting to move its way across bits of eastern Nebraska. This is pretty much where we're at now. You can see where this area of low pressure is located. So this is actually quite accurate in terms of things. We are seeing that snow falling behind. So we're actually seeing snow falling in the western state of Nebraska, and we're seeing tornadoes on the eastern state of Nebraska. Look at this. I'll take a sounding here. This one is contaminated quite largely, but, honestly, it's quite crazy. We'll take one ahead of this. Actually what we should do, we should take a look here at our mesoscale analysis. Look at this. We're moving into a Cape region here of over, almost near 1,000 joules per kilogram with this heavy shear. Effective shear at 72 knots and instability over 1,000 joules per kilogram. This is not good. This is honestly quite concerning and kind of scary to look at because we have heavy instability starting to move its way in. A lot heavier instability compared to what we were seeing. This is right around where those tornadoes we're seeing already pop off here. High instability as well as high shear results to pretty crazy things to occur. This area of low pressure is still at 986 millibars. This is expected to track its way to the northeast. You can see here, this is further down the line. You can see those storms move its way in through bits of Missouri and through bits of Iowa here and eastern parts of Kansas. But currently this is what we're taking a look at now. So honestly, kind of concerning in terms of things. We do have a decent amount of instability in effect. Just now building in over 1,000 joules per kilogram, ahead of this front. Definitely enough to get the job done, that's for sure. Of course, the more you do move north, the instability does drop quite a bit because that's where that cooler air starts to take over more. So, honestly, it's quite crazy in terms of things. Now, if you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comments below or leave it down in the chats below. I'll make sure to get to it for you guys because I want to make sure that you know everything you need to know about terms of what is currently happening here. So guys, just hope that everyone's safe today. So we're going to take a look here at the national radar view. Look at this. It's like a horseshoe shape here. This is a crazy system here. Look at this. We're seeing these severe storms move in through Lincoln, moving their way towards Omaha. We actually have, all the snow building in behind it. You can see right here across bits of Nebraska. And, we have those snow squalls that we were seeing too. I'm going to change radars real quick. We're going to go over to the snow squall. we're going to take a look in terms of this. This is right on that. This is right on that place too. Okay, this is showing that we're going to look at precipitation. This is showing as rain. This is showing as rain. However, this is actually snow, because we are in the snow squall warning here. But this is showing, because this is probably right next to the National Weather Service office, so they're already seeing snow falling with this. But, you know, this is showing 40 dBz rain. However, you know, honestly, this is snow that's going on. You know, not even 150 miles away from all these tornado warnings that we see on the other end. It's quite concerning. It's quite crazy to think about, though, to be honest with you. I mean, one side of the state's dealing with winter weather, and the other side is dealing with complete mayhem in terms of tornadoes and stuff like that going on. So, you know, it's quite crazy to look at. But, all right, we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center. We'll do another briefing in terms of this. So, if you guys are anywhere in the dark green, yellow, orange, and red area, you know, especially the orange and red area, these are your heaviest zones for severe thunderstorms today. The red being the worst, the green being, you know, still, you know, severe, but the least amount for severe. And if you guys are kind of in this, you know, kind of this weird color here, kind of like this light green color, this is actually just generalized thunderstorms, not expected to be severe, but still thunderstorms are possible. But what we're paying attention to is this area right here, you know, especially the slight inward. That's where we see our craziest amount of, you know, severe weather going on. So we do have a 10% chance of seeing significant tornadoes, basically showing that we do have the potential of seeing tornadoes EF2 to EF5 today, due to really strong shear as well as some, you know, more instability than what we were expecting start to build in across the region here. In terms of damaging winds is the biggest threat for today. And we actually do have a 45% significant zone here. Basically showing that every single 25 miles, you have a 45% chance of seeing damaging winds 80 miles per hour or more across this area here, kind of in that pink color. You know, we do have this significant zone reaching all the way out to the 15% zone, basically just showing the same thing in terms of things. So, you know, honestly, it's quite crazy. It's quite crazy to look at there. So in terms of hail, we actually do have a small hail threat for today across eastern Nebraska, basically central and northwestern Iowa, as well as southern bits of Minnesota and western parts of Wisconsin. So we do have an EAS coming through. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what this one has to say. We'll go ahead and change back to our radar view as well. And let's see what we're dealing with in terms of that. We actually do have 2 more tornado warnings across the northeastern parts of Kansas. Okay, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, this one's starting to move into Iowa now. I believe it might be right here.
Thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 5 miles northeast of Crane to 5 miles north of Okedo, moving east at 65 miles per hour. These are destructive storms. Expected hazards include 80 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. This is a radar
80 mile per hour wind gusts.
The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. Extensive tree damage and power outages are likely. Locations impacted include Pawnee City, Kennard, Table Rock, Blair, Humboldt, Fort Calhoun, Missouri Valley, Modale, Stella, Schubert, Logan, and Persia. This includes the following highways: Interstate 29 between mile markers 1 and 84. Interstate 80 in Iowa between mile markers 1 and 27. Interstate 80 in Nebraska between mile markers 432 and 454. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for southwestern Iowa and southeastern and east central.
Alright, so it seems like all these EASs are kind of getting cut off at the end, but we do have that severe thunderstorm warning now in effect. So if you guys are just now starting to join the stream, you know, welcome guys. I hope everyone's doing great today. even though we have all this severe weather going on, and it's quite crazy. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as leave a like. It would be greatly appreciated. You guys are honestly amazing, and you guys absolutely killed it. We are now at 121 subscribers. We just started off today, I believe, at 111 or 112. So guys, thank you all so much. You guys are honestly amazing. I appreciate all y'all's support. Honestly, it's greatly appreciated. So we're actually, like I was saying, we do have those tornado warnings in effect across the northeastern parts of Kansas now. We'll actually take a look here at these real quick. This does include bits basically across Riley here. As you can see, we actually do have those twin tornado warnings in effect. We're going to change radars here to KTWX. Nice close-up view here of these tornadoes. We're going to take a look here at velocity mode. So we'll see it for rotation. Look at this. This is showing some heavy velocity too. Not as heavy as we are seeing the more north you go up towards that area of low pressure, but honestly, it's still quite crazy. So we actually do have some rotation with these storms. We're going to take a look here at the correlation coefficient side of things. Basically taking a look at the particle size. It looks like we do have some spikes, but this is not anything debris-wise. This is not on the ground according to radar, which is a good thing, but you should still treat it as there is a tornado on the ground, guys, because literally you should treat a tornado warning regardless if there's a tornado on the ground or not. You should treat it as if there is one on the ground. So we do have those tornado warnings in effect across bits of northeastern parts of Kansas here. We're going to go ahead and take a look here in terms of what this has to say. So these are radar indicated rotations. These are radar indicated threats. Moving to the northeast at 65 miles per hour here. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Obviously. Regardless, if you are in these tornado warnings, you should definitely be in your shelter. Now, like I said before, even if you're in these severe thunderstorm warnings, you really should be in your shelter because these things are mean storms. We're seeing 80-mile-per-hour winds, even higher across some of these severe thunderstorms that we currently see. This one's moving, these are moving quite quickly too. Look at this large spike. This probably is picking up, further down the line. This is in the upper atmosphere, but this is not debris. This is likely just those ice crystals here. Obviously, it's not debris. But that's basically what we're dealing with there. So we're going to change back radar view. We're going to go ahead and go back towards Omaha. Go ahead and go to KOAX. This one's currently inside of the storm. We're just about to be hit by the storm. In terms of debris here, in this tornado warning here alone, it does not look like we have any tornadic debris, which is a good thing. We'll take a look here at the warning in terms of everything. Is this a radar indicated threat or it looks like it's just been canceled. Okay, well that's good. That tornado warning is now canceled here. So we do move up north a bit. We'll actually change radars here again. We should go to, well, actually we probably should stick with this one right here, but there is a little bit of, this thing is picking up some of the ice crystals in the upper atmosphere here. So honestly, we should go ahead and take a look here at this one up here. We're going to take a look here at KFSD. This right here, this is kind of concerning. This is scanning how high up in the air? We'll actually measure this real quick. So this one's scanning 12,000 feet up in the air, so there's obviously some ice crystals up there. Let's take a look at this. This one's just a radar indicated rotation. This is not a debris ball, okay. Yeah, I was thinking that's probably more ice crystals than anything. There's another one right here, but I don't think that is a debris ball, which is good. That's good news in terms of things. But honestly, those tornado warnings are still in effect, and you should still be in your shelter regardless. I'm actually taking a look here at the rainfall in terms of this. This one's showing, probably not too much rainfall because just how fast these systems are moving. I mean, these storms are screaming in terms of they're moving quite quickly. So we do have another EAS coming through. Let's go ahead and take a listen to this, and let's see what this one has to say.
Northeastern Cumming County in northeastern Nebraska, northwestern Washington County, Thurston County in northeastern Nebraska, until 4:45 p.m. At 3:40 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 4 miles northwest of Wismar to near West Point to 6 miles northeast of North Bend, moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. These are destructive storms. Expected hazards include 80 miles per hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail. Severe weather has been confirmed by an emergency management have reported widespread wind damage and measured winds to 80 miles per hour with these storms.
Wow.
The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged.
You know, so that's basically what I'm saying, guys, is that these severe thunderstorms are, you know, producing, you know, really strong winds in themselves, you know, almost tornado-like wind speeds. So regardless, I mean, if you're in a tornado warning alone, you should still, severe thunderstorm warning alone, you should still definitely be in your shelters, regardless if you're in a tornado warning or not. You know, if you're in these storms at all, you really should just be in your shelter no matter what, because these storms are not something you want to mess around with. These are really mean storms. These are a different breed of thunderstorms. These ones are a lot more aggressive. These ones actually do produce a lot more heavy winds. Okay, so let's go and listen to the rest of this, and we'll talk more about it here in a second.
This is a dangerous situation. These storms are producing widespread wind damage. Seek shelter now inside a sturdy structure and stay away from windows. The tornado watch remains in effect until 8.
Yeah, these warnings keep on getting the EAS keeps on getting cut off for some reason. You know, I tell you what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna take a look here at the watches. Here's that severe thunderstorm watch I was talking about earlier. This does include, I believe, Kansas City. But this does expand in through bits of eastern parts of Kansas and through basically northwestern parts of Missouri here. Overall tornado threat is low for the most part, but it's definitely not ruled out. EF2 and higher tornadoes is very low. In terms of severe winds, we're actually at a moderate chance here, 50% chance of seeing some severe winds. But in terms of heavy winds, you know, there is a chance, however, it's quite low. In terms of hail, we are not really expecting any hail to occur. There's a slight chance here, but, you know, honestly, you know, this is kind of a more of a, you know, weaker severe thunderstorm watch in effect. But, you know, some of these, you know, damaging wind gusts might exceed up to 70 miles per hour. You know, the winds are kind of the biggest threat in terms of the severe thunderstorm watch. But like I said, we do have that tornado watch in effect too across this areas here. You can actually take a look here. This does include northeastern parts of Kansas, basically eastern Nebraska, and through bits of northwestern Missouri, as well as central and western Iowa, as well as basically southern parts of Minnesota, as well as extreme southeastern parts of South Dakota, it does look like. This was the mesoscale discussion before this watch was issued here. You can obviously see that it has been expanded a lot further inward. And we're seeing a lot of heavy shear, a lot of heavy winds with this system, which, you know, honestly, it's kind of crazy to look at. But there's several counties here in terms of, you know, what we're expecting out of this tornado watch. Overall tornado probability is quite high. I mean, look at this. We're seeing a high chance for tornadoes clocking in at a 70% probability, you know, across this area here. In terms of having tornadoes EF2 to EF5, we actually do have a moderate chance of that as well. 40% probability, severe wind, you know, both, you know, just winds in general as well as some damaging winds. Winds over, you know, 80 miles per hour is quite high. So we do have the chance for those tornadoes as well as those heavy winds. We even do have a chance for hail, although relatively low for the most part, but it's still there. I mean, it's quite crazy to look at, but, you know, honestly, this is quite concerning to look at. So in terms of, you know, isolated, you know, large hail events to 1 inch in diameter are possible. This is basically just quarter-size hail. But look at this. Isolated significant gusts up to 90 miles per hour likely. You know, how crazy is that? So this is something that we're definitely have to look at, as we are seeing already some heavy of those gusts. A lot of those heavy gusts already mark themselves. But anyways, guys, if you are new to the channel, you know, I recommend, you know, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as leave a like. It'll be greatly appreciated. You guys are awesome. You know, honestly, we just hit 122 subscribers. So guys, thank you all so much. You guys are awesome, and I seriously appreciate it. You guys are amazing. So, but yeah, you know, it's honestly kind of crazy to see what we're dealing with here. I just hope that everyone's safe in terms of things. We actually do have that tornado warning just west of Omaha. You see that right there? Just west of Omaha. It looks like that might be new. This might be even for that EAS we just heard. So let's go and tune into this. Let's go and see what this one has to say. Either it's a severe thunderstorm warning or it's a tornado warning. So we'll just have to tune in and see what this has to say.
The National Weather Service in Omaha has issued a tornado warning.
Yep, that's it.
Western Douglas County, eastern Saunders County, until 4:30 p.m. At 3:45 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 8 miles south of Meade, or 21 miles northeast of Lincoln, moving northeast at 75 miles per hour.
75.
Affected hazards include tornado. This is a radar.
Okay, so this one means that a tornado is not on the ground. It just means that the radar is indicating rotation. This does include the area of the the radar. You can actually see the radars right here. But you are under a tornado warning, which means that you need to get to shelter. But just this does not mean a tornado is on the ground yet. It just means that the radar has indicated rotation. You should still treat it as if there is a tornado on the ground, though. Look at this. We do have the rotation right here. Quite solid rotation, so guys, definitely you need to be in your shelters here. This does include Meade as well as Valley, Waterloo as well, Elkhorn, U10.
If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
Yeah, so
Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 4:30 p.m.
until 4:30, guys.
in Nebraska, Douglas, and Saunders.
Alrighty. So you heard it there. We're going to take a look here at the correlation coefficient side of things. That right there, guys, I think that's a debris ball. That has to be a debris ball. That means that this is confirmed, right? Guys, I believe we are seeing a debris ball here on radar, which means that this tornado is on the ground, just east, or pretty much just north. Yep, that's definitely that has to be a debris ball, guys. That is a tornado on the ground, just north of Memphis. That is a confirmed tornado, guys. That's obviously a debris ball here. Even though this still says radar indicated rotation, here we go. This one now says radar confirmed tornado. Tornado is on the ground at this moment. Hazard is damaging tornado here. This thing is moving its way to the northeast at 75 miles per hour here. This is a quite crazy storm. But, this thing is confirmed. You can actually see that based off of the radar view right here. This right here, this is your debris ball as we are currently seeing here. We go back a frame, you can actually see the debris ball tracking its way basically towards the northeast here. You can see that this is around the area. We move forward here. That's all that debris here. But guys, this is a debris ball. This tornado has been on the ground. It's still on the ground. It has been on the ground for a little bit. It actually looks like here. This actually might be the debris ball, starting off. The tornado has probably been on the ground for the last several minutes now. So this tornado warning has been upgraded to a confirmed tornado. So guys, definitely see that, or definitely know that. Let's go ahead and see here. If you guys have any questions, leave it down in the chat below. I'll make sure to get to them for you guys. If you are new to the channel, I recommend subscribing. It'd be awesome, and you guys are awesome. Honestly, thank you guys so much for all y'all support. Now, we're going to be live probably for a long time today. Honestly, I'm kind of up to streaming potentially this whole entire event. I don't really have anything going on today, so I'm going to continue to give you guys coverage in terms of things. So, it does look like the last scan here. You can actually see... Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, right here's the last scan. This is at 4:49 here. This one... Yeah, 4:49. Here's the... Okay, it looks like the debris ball is kind of fading out, which is a good thing. It's showing that it's probably, kind of fluctuating, but there is still some debris here. If I had my GR2 working, I could have used the cross-section mode and look for the debris in the sky and tell you exactly how high it is up. What we can do is we can change the tilt here. We'll go ahead and position the radar a little bit higher. We'll actually go back up to tilt 4 here. And we'll see what this has to say. Does it show any debris here at tilt 4? I don't believe so. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there you go. It's talking about the confirmed by radar. But this is not the only tornado we do have. This is not the only tornado warning we do have. We do have more kind of moving its way in through bits of the western side here of Iowa. It's still in the eastern Nebraska at the moment, but it's generally moving itself to the east here and bits of Iowa. So, guys, definitely, definitely stay alert for that. Now, like I said many times, guys, if you are in these severe thunderstorm warnings, you really should be taking this. You should be taking shelter based off of this. Look at this. This one's showing hazard 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. This does include Omaha. This one right here, 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. You're getting penny-size hail pelted by 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is over hurricane strength. Put that into consideration. This is over hurricane strength. We're seeing 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is according to this warning alone. So like I said, regardless, this is really crazy. These are very destructive storms. It says source trained weather spotters here reporting this. We actually do have those 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is an extremely dangerous situation with tornadic wind speeds likely or expected. Mobile homes and high-profile vehicles are especially susceptible to winds of this magnitude may be overturned. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. These storms have the potential to cause serious injury and significant property damage. Intense thunderstorm lines can produce brief tornadoes and widespread significant wind damage. Although a tornado is not immediately likely, it's best to move into an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. These storms may cause serious injuries and significant property damage. So like I said, guys, like I was saying there, regardless, if you are in the severe thunderstorm warning, you should treat it as if you're in a tornado warning because these winds are crazy. This area of low pressure that we're currently seeing over Nebraska, looks like we have another heavy snow squall warning here across the northeastern parts of Nebraska. But this area of low pressure is tracking its way to the northeast. It's moving quite quickly. I mean, we're seeing these storm movements move pretty much across the area, over 80 miles per hour in some cases here. But the area of low pressure is located right here, pretty much just west of Columbus. This is tracking its way to the northeast, but we're not. Unfortunately, we're not in the we're not in the craziest part yet because honestly, guys, in terms of things, where Iowa is, this is where we have the biggest threat. We're not even moving into the moderate risk yet. And which, if we take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center, we have that moderate risk in effect across bits of Iowa. That's what I'm saying. We're not even in the worst yet. We're literally just starting on the system. So, guys, just please be careful based off of this in terms of things. So, I just hope that everyone's okay. And I hope everyone is, going to be okay. We do have another EAS coming through, so we'll probably listen to this. We'll go and go back to the radar view in terms of things. So, let's go and tune into this. And let's see what the latest warning is. We're going to change back to reflectivity real quick. So, let's go and tune in and see what this has to say. Okay, we have a new tornado warning. Oh, wow, look at that. That's a hook echo, guys. Guys? This is moving right towards the radar. It's hard to see. Is this that tornado? Yeah. Here it is right here. Okay, this one's on the ground, guys. Dang. In Nebraska, Dodge, Douglas, and Washington. Dodge, Douglas, and Washington. This is that tornado warning we just see right here. We have another EAS coming through, a doubleheader. But this is a confirmed tornado, guys. This one is on the ground currently, so guys, please take shelter based off of these warnings. Honestly, this is to repeat, a tornado is on the ground. So guys, just please be careful with these. Okay, we have another severe thunderstorm warning. I believe it's this one right here. 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
Eastern Mills County in southwestern Iowa, eastern Potawatomi County in southwestern Iowa, southeastern Harrison County in southwestern Iowa, Shelby County in southwestern Iowa, Page County in southwestern Iowa, until 5:15 p.m. At 3:54 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Waterloo to 5 miles northeast of Summerfield, moving east at 75 miles per hour. These are destructive storms. Expected hazards include 90 miles per hour wind gusts.
Yeah, listen to that.
Severe weather has been confirmed by. The following impacts are expected. You are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged or destroyed.
Gosh.
And businesses will have substantial roof and window damage. Expect extensive tree damage and power outages. Locations impacted include Shelby, Minot, Attica, and Walnut. This includes Interstate 80 in Iowa between mile markers 29 and 48. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for southwestern Iowa. This is an extremely dangerous situation with tornado-like wind speeds expected. Mobile homes and high-profile vehicles are especially susceptible to winds of this magnitude and may be overturned. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. These storms have the potential to cause serious injury and significant property damage. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for southwestern Iowa. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until...
Alrighty. Well, you heard that there. Okay, we're not having another one. But we have that new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued, guys. This has 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts expected in terms of your hazards. So, guys, you honestly should treat this as a tornado warning because, we're seeing those winds start to get really strong here. We do have that tornado warning here across bits of northeastern Kansas. We do have 5 tornado warnings currently out. I mean, guys, I want you to look at this. We're going to go ahead and take a look here back to the national radar. So we have all these storms that are moving through bits of these central plains, right? Moving in through the Midwest. Across the eastern parts of Nebraska, look at this. All these storms are impacting the eastern parts of Nebraska. There's some heavy snow falling across pretty much the west central parts of Nebraska as well. So the places who, probably just saw some, relatively near seeing all this severe thunderstorms, all these tornadoes pop off, we're seeing some winter weather behind it. This just shows you how strong this area of low pressure is. If we take a look here back at the Mesoscale Analysis, this area of low pressure is at 986 millibars, which, theoretically speaking, that's is equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane, which is kind of crazy to think about here. So let's go and take a look here at the winds, the pressure and winds here at the surface, which we're taking a look at here. So these are the winds at the surface. We're seeing just, constant winds of 30 knots here, which is, quite fast. It's crazy. In terms of the upper air, we actually do have this screaming shear here. You can see over 50 knots. Some areas over 100 knots of shear at 500 millibars, which is insane to think about. So in terms of instability, honestly, the instability side of thing really isn't that bad. This is actually a little bit higher than I first expected. I expected the instability to be right under 1,000 joules per kilogram, but no. These models and, actually what's occurring has ramped this thing up to over 1,000 joules per kilogram with all this heavy shear, which is kind of concerning. It's honestly kind of a crazy event, not going to lie. We do have that moderate risk in effect. This is literally the second moderate risk in December. This is the third severe weather event that we've seen this year, or this month. We do have another EAS coming through, but it's just crazy to think about, So let's go ahead and listen into this. We're going to change this back to the radar view. We're going to go back to the reflectivity side. So let's go and hear what this has to say. Okay, we have a new tornado warning. So it's in Iowa.
Northeastern Odo County in southeastern Nebraska, southeastern Kansas. 4:15 p.m. At 4:01 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Nebraska City.
Oh God.
5 miles northwest of Tarkio.
That's not good.
At 100 miles per hour.
Moving. Oh my.
Expected hazards include tornado. This is a radar indicator.
Did you hear that? 100 miles per hour is what it's moving at.
Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter.
This is near Nebraska City. This is not good.
Damage to roofs.
Oh God, that's concerning.
Vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Union around 4:05 p.m. Glenwood, Malvern, and Pacific Junction around 4:15 p.m. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Thurman, Hastings, Denmark, Camp Haton, Randolph, and
Yeah, this is for around in this area, guys.
Cover now. Move to a basement or
My thing just hasn't updated it yet, so just give it a second.
avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 4:15 p.m. to the following counties in Iowa, Fremont, and Mills, and the following counties in Nebraska, Cass, and Odo.
It's crazy. Okay, so we do have that new tornado warning, as we did see, according to this, for basically near Nebraska City here, moving in through Thurman. We're actually going to wait and see for this thing to pop up. You know, it's taking a second to want to load here. Maybe if I change radars here for a second, it'll actually reload the data. There you go. Right there. There's that new tornado warning you can see here. So we're definitely going to have to continue monitoring this one quite closely, because this one does include Nebraska City. Look at this. Nebraska City is right here. But in terms of this, look at this. This one's moving its way to the northeast at 100 miles per hour. This storm is moving at 100 miles per hour. So this is just a radar indicated rotation threat. This is not a tornado on the ground, but you should still treat it as if there was a tornado on the ground. Take a look at the velocity scan. We're looking for rotation. Yeah, there it is right there. Definitely kind of concerning. We're going to keep an eye on correlation coefficient too, but this is not helping because we have a large hail spike shooting right through this area here. This is basically just picking up ice crystals in the upper atmosphere. You can actually see right here, so it's probably blending in if there was any tornadic debris. Let's see if there's another radar here nearby. No, KOAX is kind of the closest one. We'll look here at KDMX, but this one's a little bit further out. There we go. It's a little bit better, but, honestly, this is still picking up those ice crystals. This one's really kind of far up in the atmosphere in terms of things. So if we actually zoom out here, we go to that radar we were just located at. This is showing, from the radar to the storm, this is 15,000 feet in the sky. So this is about 3 miles up. So, and it's quite far too. So, but that's just kind of crazy to look at. So we're going to take a look here at the models again. I haven't even really taken a look too much at the models today in today's live stream. So we're going to take a look at that here in a second. I'm going to make sure we're actually doing good. So, but guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. You guys are honestly amazing. I appreciate all y'all support. So let's go and see. Hank Jr. 04 says, could this get close to St. Louis at all? So in terms of St. Louis, in terms of eastern parts of Missouri, honestly, probably not. I would not be concerned if you're in St. Louis. I mean, even though you're just near the marginal risk, but the main threat for severe storms is across bits of the upper Midwest. So St. Louis is probably not going to see anything crazy in terms of that. So that answers your question there. For your day 2 outlook, we actually do have a marginal risk for severe weather across bits of the southeast here, as you can see. In terms of tornadoes, we actually do have a triple threat as well. Tornadoes, wind, and hail tomorrow as well. Basically across bits of northeastern parts of Texas and through Arkansas. with a small marginal risk for severe weather tomorrow. So, but today's obviously the big concern here, as we do have a moderate risk in effect across bits of Iowa and eastern Nebraska. These storm systems are just now starting to move its way in through bits of western parts of Iowa, in which this is just now starting to kind of reach that moderate risk zone. So, honestly, that is, the craziness is probably just now starting to go on. I mean, it's just now beginning pretty much. Even though we've been seeing this for, a little bit now. But, it's kind of crazy because we do have all these, snow squall warnings basically across these central parts here in Nebraska into southern parts of South Dakota. And just literally under, 150 miles to the east, we have several tornado warnings going on, all this severe weather. But like I said, guys, these are some mean storms. These are some storms that you definitely do not want to mess around with. So, we're probably going to switch the NOAA radio channel. We're in eastern Nebraska here, Omaha. So let's go and zoom out here for a second. So this is basically right where these are at now, pretty much along this line here. So, honestly, we're probably going to wait a little bit before we change to the radio station. But as these do move their way to the east here, we'll actually change the radio station for central parts of Iowa. So we'll have the latest alerts in terms of things. But like I said, guys, if you have any questions regarding this, if you want me to look over a specific thing, if you guys have any questions, near your local area, I can try to help you guys out as much as I can. We can take a look at the models, anything you want to look at, current observations. Just leave it down in the chat below if you guys have any questions regarding this, because I want you guys to be safe. And I want you guys to be definitely on top in terms of this severe weather. So, if you guys do have any questions, leave it down in the chat below. But anyways, guys, it's kind of crazy, seeing all this severe weather going on here, especially for the third time this month. We're just kind of in that crazy pattern here in terms of La Nina, in which we actually do see a little bit more moisture move its way across bits of the Midwest and through bits of the Ohio Valley here. So, listen to that tornado-producing storm. But we're going to take a look here at the models in terms of things. This is basically your HRRR. This is your high-resolution rapid refresh model. So, this area of low pressure, looks like we do not have an update on that. Oh, there we go. 986 millibars. Actually, no, we don't have an update on this yet. But in terms of the models, this is showing 984 millibars with all those storms moving across bits of the eastern parts of Nebraska, which we currently do see here. You can actually see right here, this is currently where we're at here. This is for 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time here, so we can actually currently see all these severe weather, all these severe storms entering bits of Nebraska, all the way down and through bits of Kansas as well. This will track itself to the northeast, bringing that severe threat along with it, across bits of Iowa. Pretty much bits of, central and western Iowa should honestly brace for this weather now. Get prepared for it, because these are some mean storms heading your way. This area of low pressure is going to do nothing but just strengthen as it does continue to move its way to the north, increasing those overall winds, potentially getting pretty crazy. So, guys, definitely do want to, you guys definitely want to be paying attention for that. So, the severe threat kind of looks like it's going to break up, around the late, the early night hours here. But yeah, that's basically what we're doing with there. You can actually see, these severe storms are expected to move all the way through Iowa here. That's basically where we have our heaviest threat for severe weather across this area here in the moderate risk. Moving its way all the way up into bits of the northern parts of, the southern parts of Minnesota here as well. So in terms of that, we actually do have some heavy snow falling as well across bits of the central plains, moving its way in through bits of the upper Midwest, which, honestly, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how we're seeing, two sides of this severe weather. We're seeing, we're seeing the severe side, and we're also seeing the, the winter side of things. But look, same idea here. This one's actually showing more thunderstorms, firing off into bits of Oklahoma. According to this, the Storm Prediction Center has it just, kind of scraping northeastern parts of Oklahoma here, which, honestly, that is probable. It does look like, according to this, according to the NAM model, the NAM model is kind of crazy if you guys know it. But this one's showing more discrete supercells, it looks like, across, kind of breaking up towards these central parts here of Iowa. As you can see right here, kind of more the individual cells, which, that's kind of interesting to find out. But, You know, like I said, NAM is kind of a crazy model. So we have a new tornado warning, guys. Oh, gosh. Is it this one right here?
At 4:12 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Murray, or 24 miles south of Omaha, moving northeast at 85 miles per hour. Expected hazards include tornado.
No, that's not it. It's a new one. Yeah, we got a lot of tornado warnings really starting to pop off now, guys. Look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or we have 7 of them total. You know, Omaha is just right between these two tornado warnings. Oh, this is that storm right here. Oh, maybe they just, I think they just expanded this one. This one's expired, but I think they might have just expanded it. Yep, there it is right there. So this is a radar indicated threat. Moving its way to the northeast at 85 miles per hour.
Do not wait to see or hear the tornado. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 4:45 p.m. for the following counties in Iowa, Fremont, and Mills.
But like I said, we have a lot of these tornado warnings really starting to ramp off. We do have those severe thunderstorm warnings starting to move their way well into bits of Iowa now. We can see here this one's showing 80 mile per hour wind gusts, but the one before it shows 90 mile per hour wind gusts. This is a source from the Train Weather Spotter confirming this. It's quite crazy. So let's go and take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center again. I want to take a look and see if they actually updated the. Let's see if they updated the the overall amount of severe weather we saw. Look at this. We already have 5 tornado reports and 100 wind reports. I expect this only to go up. Honestly, this will probably go up into several hundreds in terms of wind reports further down the line. Look at this. Take a look here closer at this plot. Yeah, just look at all these wind reports. So this is time here at the bottom, and this is report count. Look, when the severe thunderstorms just start, it's just kind of, average and just really ramps up here. The blue being your winds, your damaging winds. But, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, look at this. It's not even load. But it's crazy because we have over 100 wind reports from this. They're just really starting to skyrocket. And honestly, they're probably just going to continue to skyrocket because we're seeing some crazy winds with this storm. Because we're seeing, some wind gusts of 80 miles per hour or more, and yeah, tornado-like wind speeds and stuff. We do have the winter side of the thing going on across western parts here of Nebraska, and we have a lot of tornado warnings really popping them way off, or popping themselves off here. This is kind of crazy. This is right between Nebraska City and right between Omaha. Yeah. So we're going to take a look here at the correlation coefficient side. We're going to see if there's any tornadic debris. That's what we're going to scan for right now. In terms of things. So we're probably going to have to change our radar again. So let's go ahead and change our radar to KOAX. This is pretty much behind this severe line here. But we should get some good data behind it. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any solid debris balls according to it. Wait a second, what is that? That is... Okay, we need to keep an eye on that. There it is, right there. Confirmed and damaging. We have another EAS coming through. Damaging tornado, radar confirmed tornado. That's what I thought. I thought this was a debris ball. Just north of Kennard. Another tornado warning. But guys, right here, this is right where your debris ball's at. This is right where your tornado is picking up, stuff. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, this one's radar indicated rotation. But this one's on the ground. It looks like that debris ball is kind of spread out a bit. Yeah, but there's a lot of tornado warnings starting to really pop off now. Hank Jr. said, thanks. You're welcome. I'm glad to help you guys out. Like I said, if you have any questions regarding this, leave it down in the chat below, and I'll make sure to get to your guys' questions here. But yeah, it's kind of crazy in terms of all these tornado warnings we do have currently popping off here. But like all these storms are starting to move themselves into Iowa here. I mean, these severe thunderstorm warnings, look how large they are.
Tornado watch number 563 has been canceled for the following counties in Nebraska, Dodge and Saunders. Repeating, the tornado watch number 563 has been canceled for the following counties.
Okay, it's been canceled for eastern parts of Nebraska. This is basically just due to the fact that all this line of thunderstorms is moving its way out of the region. See, once you're behind this cold front, the air becomes more stable, in which this actually allows for those conditions to kind of build back in normal, in which they actually they get rid of the tornado watches. But ahead of the line is where you really need to be paying attention to, because that's where those tornado warnings the tornado watch is still in effect here. Just due to the squall line here that we see. But behind it, like I said, it's more stable conditions in which they are allowed to be expired because there's no more thunderstorms producing in that area. So in terms, I want to take a look here at the dew points. We're going to take a look here at pivotal weather here. We're going to take a look here at the dew point temperature in terms of what we're currently seeing here. We're going to take a look at RTMA analysis. But look, there you go right there. I'll actually zoom in here even closer to the central parts of the plains. You see this really sharp gradient right here? This is right here. This is right where your cold front is. This is a really sharp gradient in cold front. This is really strong. You can see all of that. Have all those really cold temperatures moving their way into bits of Nebraska. Look at this. This is showing 20s. Temperatures in the 20s across the western state of Nebraska. And it's showing the temperatures in the 70s on the eastern state of Nebraska. Is that crazy or what? Look at that. That is honestly quite crazy to see. So in terms of dew points, that's kind of what we're wanting to look at here. Dew points in your 50s and 60s is good for tornadoes to develop, or for thunderstorms to develop in general, severe thunderstorms. In this case, we are looking at dew points in the mid to upper 50s, which it's enough to get the job done. It is. We do have some richer dew points across bits of the Midwest. Moving into the western Ohio Valley, but it looks like they're kind of breaking up the more that we do move into the day, because the sun is starting to set now, because the sun is starting to set, so the temperatures are kind of cooling down a bit, just from daylight heating that we're currently seeing. But yeah, that's basically what we're dealing with there. But the dew points are in the 50s and 60s, which is supportive for those thunderstorms to really pop off. So. But guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as leave a like. You guys are honestly amazing, and I appreciate all y'all support. We are trying to reach 150 subscribers by the end of this year, so if you guys are not ready, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It'll mean everything to me. You guys are awesome, and I really appreciate all y'all support. So, guys, thank you so much for that. But so we're going to take a look here back at the radar view. We're going to see, look at all these tornado warnings. You see on the the left-hand side here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tornado warnings in effect across bits of Nebraska, eastern parts of, western parts of Iowa, as well as the northeastern parts of Kansas. So we have another EAS coming through. So let's go and take a listen to this and see what this EAS has to say about these upcoming, or whatever this is, either a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. So let's listen to this and see what this has to say. Another tornado warning. That's not good.
Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over eastern Castle Bluffs, or 11 miles east of Omaha, moving northeast at 85
11 miles east of Omaha.
Expected hazards include tornado. This is a radar-indicated threat rotation. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to
It's probably going to be issued around in here. It says it's just east of Omaha. It could be an extension from this tornado warning that we see right here. This one right here. I could be wrong, though. It just said it's east 11 miles from Omaha. Well, I mean, is it this one?
Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 5 p.m. for the following county: Potawatomi, Iowa.
Alrighty, so there you go. You heard it there. We have that tornado warning that is now in effect. But anyways, guys, I think I'm going to take a break here for a minute. Things are just now starting to really kick off, and I think I probably need a break for, in terms of what we're about to go through. I have been live streaming for, quite some time now, for basically, an hour and 46 minutes of nonstop talking. So we're going to take a break here. I will be back here at 5:35 p.m. Eastern Time. This will be 4:35 p.m. Central Time. So if you guys want to tune in back whenever we come back here, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. So I will see you guys there.
Until 9, the severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Cumming, northwestern Washington, and Thurston counties is canceled. The storms which prompted the warning have moved out of the warned area. Therefore, the warning has been canceled. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for southwestern and west central Iowa and east central Nebraska. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 4:45 p.m. for Monona and northern Harrison counties. At 4:23 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 6 miles north of Hornick to near Mundaman, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. These are destructive storms. Expected hazards include 80 miles per hour wind gusts and nickel-size hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. This storm has a history of producing significant wind damage. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. Extensive tree damage and power outages are likely. Locations impacted include Dunlap and nearby communities. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for southwestern and west central Iowa and east central Nebraska. This is a dangerous situation. These storms are producing widespread wind damage. Seek shelter now inside a sturdy structure and stay away from windows. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 4:45 p.m. for the following county: Harrison, Iowa. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 4:45 p.m. for Fremont, Mills, western Potawatomi, southern Harrison, northeastern Sarpy, southeastern Washington, Nemaha, eastern Odo, eastern Douglas, Richardson, eastern Pawnee, and eastern Cass counties. At 4:25 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Logan to 4 miles southeast of Glenwood to near Onaga, moving east at 65 miles per hour. These are very destructive storms. Expected hazards include 90 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. Severe weather has been confirmed by. The following impacts are expected. You are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged or destroyed. Homes and businesses will have substantial roof and window damage. Expect extensive tree damage and power outages. Locations impacted include Omaha, Fall City, Council Bluffs, Bellevue, Papillion, La Vista, Blair, Nebraska City, Plattsmouth, Ralston, Glenwood, Auburn, Missouri Valley, Logan, Hamburg, Malvern, Sidney, Trainer, Underwood, and Fort Calhoun. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for southwestern Iowa and southeastern and east-central Nebraska. This is an extremely dangerous situation with tornado-like wind speeds expected. Mobile homes and high-profile vehicles are especially susceptible to winds of this magnitude and may be overturned. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. These storms have the potential to cause serious injury and significant property damage. Intense thunderstorm lines can produce brief tornadoes and widespread significant wind damage. Although a tornado is not immediately likely, it is best to move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. These storms may cause serious injury and significant property damage. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 4:45 p.m. for the following counties in Nebraska: Cass, Douglas, Nemaha, Odo, Pawnee, Richardson, Sarpy, and Washington, and the following counties in Iowa: Fremont, Harrison, Mills, and Potawatomi. High wind warning information for the following counties in Nebraska: Burt, Cass, Dodge, Douglas, Odo, Sarpy, Saunders, and Washington, and the following counties in Iowa: Harrison, Mills, and Potawatomi. High wind warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. this evening. What? Southwest winds increasing into the 30 to 40 miles per hour range with gusts from 50 to 65 miles per hour. Peak gusts as high as 75 miles per hour will be possible in localized areas. Where? Portions of east central, northeast and southeast Nebraska, and southwest and west central Iowa. When? From noon today to 9 p.m. this evening. Winds will increase in speed this afternoon in eastern Nebraska and southwest Iowa. A few hours. The National Weather Service in Omaha has issued a tornado warning for northwestern Montgomery County in southwestern Iowa, northeastern Mills County in southwestern Iowa, southeastern Potawatomi County in southwestern Iowa until 5 p.m. At 4:30 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Emerson, or 31 miles southwest of Atlantic, moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. Expected hazards include tornado. This is a radar-indicated threat rotation. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of northwestern Montgomery, northeastern Mills, and southeastern Potawatomi counties, including the following locations: Old Town Park, Hastings, Silver City, Farm Creek Public Wildlife Area, and Henderson. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 5 p.m. for the following counties in Iowa: Mills, Montgomery, and Potawatomi. The National Weather Service in Omaha has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Monona County, northeastern Harrison Harrison County in southwestern Iowa, northwestern Shelby County in southwestern Iowa, until 5 p.m. At 4:31 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles southeast of Pisgah, or 29 miles southwest of Denison, moving northeast at 75 miles per hour. Expected hazards include tornado. This is a radar-indicated threat rotation. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Dunlap around 4:40 p.m. Ute around 4:50 p.m. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 5 p.m. for the following counties in Iowa, Harrison, and Shelby. The tornado warning for western Harrison and northeastern Washington counties is canceled. The storm which prompted the warning has moved out of the area. Therefore, the warning has been canceled. However, gusty winds are still possible with this thunderstorm. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for southwestern Iowa and east central Nebraska. High wind warning information for the following counties in Nebraska: Burt, Cass, Dodge, Douglas, Odo, Sarpy, Saunders, and Washington, and the following counties in Iowa: Harrison, Mills, and Potawatomi. High wind warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. this evening. What? Southwest winds increasing into the 30 to 40 miles per hour range with gusts from 50 to 65 miles per hour. Peak gusts as high as 75 miles per hour will be possible in localized areas. Where? Portions of east central, northeast and southeast Nebraska, and southwest and west central Iowa. When? From noon today to 9 p.m. this evening. Winds will...
Alrighty, guys, I am back. Sorry for that little bit of a break we had to do. We are now back live. We have a lot of craziness still going on, obviously. We have a lot of those tornado warnings, just now starting to move out of Nebraska. They're all starting to move into Iowa now. We can see several of these. Every single red polygon you do see here, this is a tornado warning that's in effect in terms of everything. So it's quite crazy. We're going to take a look here at the correlation coefficient inside of things, basically taking a look for debris in the atmosphere to basically show any confirmed tornadoes. But we're going to go by, one by one here in a second. So let's go and see here. This one is radar indicated rotation. This one's radar indicated rotation. Yeah, so these ones are radar indicated rotation, basically showing that the radar is picking up rotation in the thunderstorm. Doesn't mean that there is any tornado on the ground right now, but you should still treat it as if there is a tornado on the ground. Let's go and see here. This one is tornado radar indicated rotation. Yeah, a lot of these are just radar indicated threats, which is, still tornado warning, but this is just showing that, the tornado is not on the ground yet, which is a good thing. But just stay tuned, as we might actually have a tornado on the ground further down the line. But, like I said, guys, if you have any questions regarding this, make sure you leave it down in the chat. I'll make sure to get to it for you guys, because I'm sure you guys probably have some questions regarding this system, in which I just want you guys to be safe in terms of things. So just if you have any questions, like I said, just leave it down in the chat below, and I'll make sure to get to them for you guys. But yeah, obviously we do have some craziness going on. So we're going to go and take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center. I was going to see in terms of what we're dealing with for our thunderstorm forecast for today. We do have that tornado watch we can see right here has been canceled for eastern Nebraska, just as the storms are now starting to move out of the region, starting to move their way into western parts here of Iowa. In terms of, we still have that tornado watch in effect. We do actually have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect across the eastern parts here of Kansas, as well as northwestern parts of Missouri. So, in terms of that, we actually take a look here at the mesoscale discussions. What is this about? Concerning blizzard. Look at this. What is all that about? Concerning a blizzard. That's concerning. But let's listen to this EAS and see what we have to deal with. Another tornado warning, guys.
Side of things,
Well, you just heard me there for a second. I'm just checking the live stream, making sure everything's okay. Oh, listen to that. That's the tornado on the ground. Oh God, look at that, guys. So this is showing that a tornado is... Okay, that's showing that a tornado is on the ground, guys. So we're changing back... Oh, there it is right there. Is that it? I think it was that debris ball we just saw. Just wait for this correlation coefficient to kick in. But I swore I just saw the debris ball I was talking about here. Yeah, saying tornadoes on the ground. Wait, hold on. Yeah, damaging tornado. Look at all these density of just tornado warnings we see here. Alright, so that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of that. I mean, there's obviously a lot of tornado warnings in effect across western parts of Iowa here. I mean, there's several of them. We're seeing several tornado warnings currently being issued here. We're going to probably switch over to the KOAX. For some reason, that was not wanting to load. I don't know if that's a radar issue, if that's a personal issue on the, on our software, but yeah, we're definitely taking a look here at that. Hold on, I just don't know if my radar is glitching at all. It could be having some issues. I might have to restart. We're gonna go ahead and restart radar scope. There we go. Yeah, we're just going to restart that because it was probably just glitching. Maybe. We'll just see. 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So this is pretty much just now out of Nebraska for the most part. Moving its way in through bits of Iowa. As we can see here. Obviously Iowa is starting to see all these tornado warnings. Look at all these. Look at that density of tornado warnings. Like all these red polygons are just showing tornado warnings currently currently ongoing at the moment. But I think that this the radar is being a little weird here. I'm not sure if it's like a is it a software issue or just radars are having issues. I don't know. But honestly, it's kind of crazy. But like I said, we have the blizzard conditions here, basically across bits of northern parts of Nebraska. We have a mesoscale discussion, showing the possibility of a blizzard may be needed for a blizzard warning. But we do have those mesoscale discussions talking about those tornado watches and all that fun stuff. Okay. We already have 121 wind reports with 7 tornado reports. We actually have 1 hail report as well for today. That is quite crazy. So this is from the 11th. All right, so guys, we actually do have another mesoscale discussion issued 42 minutes ago. All right, sorry, 47 minutes ago, concerning a tornado watch here, but there's already a tornado watch in effect across the western parts here of Iowa. I guess we can go and take a look at that real quick. So, like I said, we do have that tornado watch is now in effect. It's moving its way through western parts of Iowa here. We do have that overall chance for tornadoes at a high risk. A chance for tornadoes being EF2 and higher is actually at a moderate risk here. So, honestly, we actually do have that chance for tornadoes, potentially being pretty strong too. We do have that, chance for severe winds, as well as, just overall wind damage, as well as, extreme damaging winds. We actually do have that threat as well across this area, as we are seeing some instances of maybe 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts with these thunderstorms. In terms of hail, we actually do have a chance for hail, but it's relatively low for the most part, but it is still there, and we actually do have that chance. We could potentially see some hail. So this one's showing that, significant gusts up to 90 mile per hour likely. We've already seen that occurring across bits of the area here that we've currently been seeing here. So we're going to go and change this to the correlation coefficient, or sorry, the reflectivity side of things. We'll take a look in terms of what this has to say. If my radar decides it wants to work, because obviously it's being kind of glitchy here, but we'll just see if it loads for some reason. But we can take a look here at this. Take a look. This is your national radar in terms of, what's currently going on across that. This is not like your individual radar. But we do have, all this severe weather moving its way to the east. We actually do have some winter weather in the same state. So we had all that severe weather pretty much moving its way now out of Nebraska. It's pretty much out of Nebraska as a whole now. But we still have some winter weather currently occurring across the west central parts of Nebraska here, with the Storm Prediction Center issuing that mesoscale discussion as a blizzard warning might be needed. So that's kind of concerning in terms of that. So it's just something that we're definitely have to continue looking at over here for the next few minutes. For some reason, this is not wanting to load. For some reason, my radar scope is acting up quite a bit, so we might have to resort to an alternative option here in a second. I don't know exactly what's going on in terms of this. This is on the right thing. This is showing for velocity here. We might have to resort to a different option here in a second. So what we can do, I do believe that the COD Meteorology has I believe that the COD Meteorology actually has a radar side, an XRAD radar. So, if not, we can even look at the National Weather Service radar that they have there. But look at this. You see how strong this area of low pressure is? This is a very impressive image here. That is wicked looking. Yeah, look at this. You can see all that dust it's kicking up too. So this is honestly probably producing some dust storms behind it as well. Guys, take a look at that. You see all this dust mixing in with it? So we have our thunderstorms firing off here, and then we have some dust that's being kicked up as well. That is crazy. This is due to all those really strong winds that we're seeing. That is crazy to look at. We'll even pull up the wind vectors here. Yeah, this is showing really strong winds. We're seeing wind gusts here. Up to 87 miles per hour, according to this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at this. This is showing 45 knots of winds. This is showing a 50-knot wind barb here at the surface. These are based off of observed winds, too, which is kind of crazy to look at, though. So we're going to go ahead and close down radar scope because of, it's being stupid here. So let's go and take a look here at the radar view. We'll change our radar area here. We'll take a look here at OAX. This is the Weather Service office here. Okay, we do have another EAS coming through, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that in terms of what that has to say. Is that a debris ball right there? It looks like a debris ball right here. Yeah, look at that right there. I think that's a debris ball showing a tornado on the ground. Yeah, that's not good.
The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely.
Yeah, there's some rotation going on with that too.
Storm will be near. Walnut around
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, I really wish my GR2 was working for some reason, but I don't know exactly what's going on with it. It's being stupid for some reason. I'm gonna try to get radar scope working again, you know, because obviously, I mean, the warnings are working. Okay, we have that one that just went off here. Yeah, this isn't showing any data here. Why is that? Let's try another radar across St. Louis. Let's see if this one even loads anything. I just think that, I don't know if it's like a radar scope issue, because there's nothing loading here. I can check it on my phone. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a look through my phone and see if it's working here in terms of things. We're going to pull up the KDMX radar here. It's showing lightning data, but it's not showing any. I think that's just a radar scope issue, guys. Yeah, radar scope's having an issue. It's not showing up on my phone either. But it's still showing the warnings and stuff. I mean, we're seeing multiple reports here. You know, there's some damage reports. Power lines down across Lawton, it looks like. I should probably turn on spotter reports here, if I can. Let's go ahead and go to settings here. I don't know if I can change. I don't know if I can turn those on or not. We'll try it on here. Let's see. Could be spotter network here. No, that's not it. Huh. Yeah, reflectivity, we should change that, actually. Yeah, I guess that's not going to work. Yeah, but it's just a radar scope issue. I don't know exactly why this is acting up, but it is. None of these radars are working. KOAX, I'll try this one on my phone. Nope, they're not working. Guys, if you have radar scope, if you could check your scan and see if it's down or not, and if you could, let me know in the chat below, because I think these are down. I want to go ahead and say. That's not good, though. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and double check here. We're going to take a look here at the National Weather Service. We'll take a look at the radar view. We'll do NOS radar, because they have the radar view as well. I guess we can just use that. You know, we do have some other options here, but unfortunately, radar scope isn't working. I don't know what's going on in terms of that. But we do have this at least. Let's see. We can pull. Yeah, here we go. Local radar here. We'll pull up these. We'll take a look here at the central Iowa. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting to Now we're starting to get this in here. But we have, you know, a lot of. Oh, this is kind of crazy. We'll look at the velocity view. Man, they have a different. Velocity thing here. So I just got a message from Andre saying that radar scope is down. So I can confirm to you guys that radar scope is not working. Probably not the best. This is not the best time to have radar scope not working, because that's basically what we were using for a lot of these warnings. I mean, this color table is just kind of hard to read too. But we can still kind of keep up with the warnings and stuff as well. This one is a little bit more laggy too. A little bit glitchy, but you know, honestly, it's better than nothing. We're gonna take a look here back at we'll take a look at correlation coefficient if it's even on here. Base velocity. Yeah, this one doesn't have CC. Huh. Okay, we're gonna have to probably go back to our COD view. Or better yet, we can use Weather Nerds. That's actually a pretty good website for this. So let's see. Radar sites, we'll change it to Central Iowa. There we go. That's a little bit better. But this one doesn't really show any places. Yeah, it just sucks that radar scope went down because honestly, that's kind of where we were seeing all of our. That's kind of where we were getting all of our data from. We'll take a look here, but they don't have correlation coefficient for this, unfortunately. So we do have some rotation going on here. We're just gonna have to continue looking at this. We'll even pull up this one here. We'll even pull up our warnings, you know, to kind of get our latest information based off of this. Because we can still select these warnings and, you know, get, you know, data based off of them. We'll just wait until the... you know, radar scope comes back on. Hopefully it comes back on soon because, you know, if not, it's kind of messing up a lot of people right now because there's really not much data going on. I'm going to check Twitter and make sure maybe radar scope is working on it. But obviously, we do have our severe weather. It's now moving into 2 bits of western Iowa. It's moving out of Nebraska now. However, our severe weather, or sorry, our winter weather side of thing is still there. Let's go and see at radar scope. I want to see if there's any recent activity in terms of what they're saying. Yeah, it says we are aware of the issue affecting radar data and working to resolve it. We're non-super res products are available from the NOAA server. Okay, let's go ahead and try that. So I'm reading the thing that Radar Scope put up on Twitter. It says that all the non-super res products are working on the NOAA side. So let's go and try the digital reflectivity. We'll try KDMX. I don't know if I'm on NOAA. I think I'm on change your settings. So I'll have to go to settings real quick. What's this? Warnings. There's NOAA. There we go. Take a look here at NOAA. Maybe this will work. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Digital reflectivity. Let's do. Huh. Composite reflectivity. That's just basically all layers, though. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties we're dealing with here. I'm just trying to figure out how to get these to work again. Because, you know, Radar Scope's currently having some issues at the moment in terms of all their data and stuff. Apparently, it's down. And apparently, NOAA data works still. Is it Amazon? Amazon has data, has shares now? Is this like the Amazon I know of, or what the heck? Okay, well, apparently, according to their tweet, it said that the this is working here. Let's try the super res for even though it said it didn't work for NOAA. Well, you know, we're probably just gonna have to wait. Let's go and see here. I think it said something about Amazon. Let's see. Yeah, but that's for tier 2 subscribers from Amazon. So, unfortunately, the radar is kind of down here. So, you know, honestly, for the people who are actually storm chasing in this, you know, this is probably not a good idea to be storm chasing in this to begin with. But the people who are actually out in this, they rely, you know, on Radar Scope, because that's like the main program for mobile to get professional radar. So it's kind of concerning to see that, you know, this isn't working in terms of things, which that's kind of interesting. So, like I said, we're just going to continue monitoring this. I'm going to go ahead and open up the radar view across the nation. In terms of things, we'll go ahead and take a look here at my radar here. But we'll keep on checking in here on radar scope. In terms of things, I'm gonna switch this back to radar scope data just until they get everything back up and running. So hopefully it's soon. KDMX will. Hopefully that all this radar data comes back soon. So we're gonna go and take a look here at this. We still have all these all these tornado warnings really starting to move their way into bits of pretty much western parts of Iowa here. We do have several tornado warnings in effect. I'll take a look at this one right here for this large tornado warning that we do have. So these are mostly just radar indicated rotation threats for the most of these. But like I said, the radar data is kind of messing up here on radar scope, which, honestly, I wish I was using GR. This one right here is radar confirmed. Tornadoes on the ground, take shelter now. Which one was that for? Which one did I click on? Yeah, this one's radar indicated rotation. But just until radar scope data comes back in, we're just gonna have to resort to this. I mean, it's better than nothing. Obviously, it's not the best. We're gonna go ahead and switch over to the central Iowa view. So let's go ahead and for the weather radio here, Iowa. So we're switching channels real quick. There we go. Near Atlantic. 70. Oh, is this one right here? Oh, this one's a confirmed tornado. To repeat, tornadoes on the ground. This one's for moving to the northeast at 80 miles per hour. Hazard of damaging tornado. Radar confirmed tornado. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. But it's moving its way towards bits of, it's moving its way well into bits of Iowa now. The severe weather is pretty much completely out of Nebraska at the moment, which is good. If you're in Nebraska, your thunderstorm threat is pretty much over for the most part. But we're now starting to see the craziness really start to kick in across bits of Iowa here, because we actually have, this is right where the moderate risk is, across bits of Iowa. And, it's just now starting to move in through that region here. So that's just something that we're going to have to continue monitoring, because honestly, it's probably going to get quite crazy in terms of things. So, but yeah, that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of that. I'll continue taking a look here at the radar scope view. In terms of, it looks like the warnings are working fine. Everything's working fine here. But just radar view is what's messing up. Because obviously we're still getting data from the National Weather Service warnings and stuff. But like I said, the radar view is what's glitching here. Yeah, but a lot of these are just radar indicated rotations. This one right here for Atlantic. I believe this was a confirmed tornado, or it was one near here. It probably got expired and replaced by one of those other warnings. But yeah, honestly, that's basically what we're looking at here. It looks like we do have that snow squall warning in effect for south central parts of Nebraska, showing that poor visibilities from blowing snow. I wonder if some of these areas are actually seeing, they just saw severe weather. Now they're seeing snow, like within the last few hours. I want to actually double check that. Where is this for? South central Nebraska with that snow squall warning. We can go ahead and go back to the COD meteorology view. We can take a look at the radar, satellite and radar here. Look at composite radar. So basically they're seeing all that, all that craziness going on here. Look at that. We're going to go back to 200 frames here. But I want you guys to look at this. This is actually kind of interesting to see. If this thing would even load. But basically, we get all this severe weather that starts occurring across bits of these central parts here of Nebraska. And now they're starting to see some snow. Like, they saw some thunderstorms, and now they're starting to see some snow. Like, honestly, this is quite crazy. You can see, like, all this. You can see this area of low pressure right here. tracking itself to the northeast. This is a really strong area of low pressure. And it's tracking to the northeast, and it's only strengthening. It's currently only strengthening. So we're going to take a look here at the thermodynamics in terms of things. We'll take a look here at the CAPE, basically the instability side of things. We're seeing instability over 1,400, or basically over 1,000 mixed layer CAPE, which is definitely good. Definitely over 1,000 mixed layer CAPE, which is enough to get some thunderstorms going here. Our shear is through the roof, though. We have a lot of heavy winds in terms of this system here, which is kind of crazy, honestly. But this is moving its way in through Iowa now. It's mostly out of Nebraska for the most part. It's tracking still through eastern parts of Kansas here. What was this? Oh. Oh gosh. Here we go. Tornadoes on the ground, guys. So confirmed. This is confirmed by weather spotters. That's not good.
To repeat, a tornado is on the ground. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning remains in effect.
Yep, so the tornado has been observed by the spotters here. I'm just trying to wait for the EAS to go over. But you heard it there. But you heard it there. We have that tornado on the ground. It does include Atlantic. So if you guys are there, this is basically just west of central Iowa here. Pretty much in western Iowa here. Basically for Atlantic here, this does include bits. We'll go ahead and zoom in here a little bit. Adair, as well as, this does include bits of Audubon. But basically, this is showing that a tornado is on the ground, in which you guys should already be in your shelter. But the tornado has been confirmed by weather spotters, meaning that the tornado is currently on the ground and currently causing some damages. So, guys, you definitely need to be in your shelters there. Even if you're in the severe thunderstorm warning, you really should be inside of a shelter regardless, because we're dealing with a lot of heavy winds as well. Have a lot of damaging winds as well, from a lot of these thunderstorms here. Thunderstorm winds as well. So a lot of these central plains moving in through the Midwest is actually dealing with a lot of winds in regards to, just normal winds, in terms of what is currently happening because of this area of low pressure, but also because of these thunderstorm wind gusts as well. We're seeing this really strong area of low pressure impact the bits of the central plains moving its way in through the Midwest as we are speaking right now. It is currently tracking its way in through the Midwest. So, but like I said, guys, if you have any questions regarding this event, make sure you leave it down in the comments below, and I'll make sure to get to it. If you guys have any questions in terms of, what you can expect, in terms of, what is currently going on. But like I said, in terms of the radar view for radar scope, unfortunately, it is now down. We do not know. They're trying to fix the problem here, which is not really good, because you got to think a lot of people who are on the roadways are relying on their radar view from radar scope, in which the radar data isn't really showing, but the warnings are still up to date. We are still getting warnings in effect from here. It's just the radar view that's not really working, so we're just kind of waiting on that to kind of resume back. So for now, we're just kind of taking a look here at the national radar view and just listening to the EAS for any new alerts that's currently happening. But we just changed channels from eastern Nebraska. Now we're in central parts of Iowa in terms of our EAS. So that's if you guys want to know where we're paying attention to. But guys, like I said, just please be safe. I hope everyone's doing okay. And I hope everyone's doing all right. So Stephanie says, hey, NWW, is this going to hit Texas? This will not hit Texas. You are safe from this. Basically, this is just for the upper Midwest. I can even show you here. If we take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center, we'll actually change this to Storm Prediction Center right here. We'll take a look. So the thunderstorms are actually just for bits of the Midwest. So in terms of Texas, you're completely out of this. You're not actually expecting any severe weather to occur. So you are safe, Stephanie. So that answers your question there. But, unfortunately, like I was saying, the radar scope is down at the moment, in which, honestly, we're actually starting to see some tornadoes moving its way into the extreme northwestern parts of Missouri here as well. This does include St. Joseph, as well as Maryville as well. We'll go and take a look here at the warnings in terms of this. This expires in 21 minutes. This is a radar indicated threat. This is basically just showing that the radar has picked up rotation in the thunderstorm. It does not mean that the tornado is on the ground. However, you should still treat it as if there is a tornado on the ground, though. So that is good news. But basically showing that there is no, confirmed tornado yet. It could be on the ground, but just based off of sources we have right now, it's not 100% certain that it's on the ground. So this is just a radar indicated threat, basically showing that rotation has been picked up in the thunderstorm. So that it does include basically bits of St. Joseph, as you can see here. This is basically across the extreme northwestern parts here of Missouri. This does include basically extreme eastern parts here of Kansas, or extreme northeastern parts of Kansas here as well. Some of those, but we have all these severe thunderstorm warnings stretching all the way down, basically just to the southeast of Wichita, moving its way up all the way into the western sides here of Iowa, through basically extreme northwestern parts here of Missouri, as well as eastern parts here of Kansas. So, obviously we're dealing with a lot of craziness going on. In terms of these severe thunderstorm warnings, we're seeing 80+ mile per hour wind gusts with these. So, obviously, if you are inside of these, warnings, you should just, you should take action based off of them regardless, because, we're seeing those damaging winds, which are, obviously causing a little bit of damage, and that's really, really not good. So, but that's basically what we're dealing with there in terms of things. Obviously, there is kind of a lot of craziness going on. So, we're going to take a look here back at this view. We have several tornado warnings in effect. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or sorry, 8. We have 8 tornado warnings in effect. A lot of them are across western parts of Iowa. They're moving their way to the east here at a whopping speed here. We're talking, a lot of these storms are moving to the northeast. This one's actually moving east at 65 miles per hour. We actually did see some storms move at 100 miles per hour earlier. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these storm movement is going relatively quickly. This system is moving really fast here across this area. So in terms of some of these tornado warnings, we're seeing some of these move. This one's moving to the northeast at 75 miles per hour. So these are fast-moving storms. Don't get me wrong; these things are really moving quick. But for the most part, here comes another EAS. But they're moving relatively quickly. And if you guys are in that severe thunderstorm warning, you really should treat that as if you're in a tornado warning, because these are causing some crazy straight line winds, in which honestly, this is a hazard. So let's go and listen to this and see what this EAS has to say. Okay, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning being issued. Central Iowa.
Southern Boone County in central Iowa, Dallas County in central Iowa, Edna County in southwestern Iowa, Warren County in south central Iowa, until 6:30 p.m. At 5:09 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Grand Rapids to 8 miles north of Lake Icaria.
Okay, so this one's moving into central Iowa now.
These are destructive storms for central Iowa.
Yep.
Expected hazards include 80 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. Extensive tree damage and power outages are likely. Locations impacted include Des Moines, West Des Moines.
Oh, this one is for Des Moines.
Johnson, Clyde, Indianola, Altoona, Waukee.
Okay, so we just had a new severe thunderstorm warning extended into central Iowa.
Greenfield, Guthrie Center, Windsor Heights, Carlisle, and Bondurant. This includes the following highways: Interstate 35 between mile markers 43 and 72, and between mile markers 87 and 107. Interstate 80 between mile markers 73 and 149. Interstate 235 between mile markers 1 and 14. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. This is an extremely dangerous situation with tornado-like wind speed.
Yeah. So guys, you heard it there. You should treat these as tornado warnings, because we are seeing almost tornadic-like wind speeds with this system. I mean, these damaging winds alone are going to cause a lot of damages, such as shingles being torn off of places. You can have some damages of just really heavy damage is probably going to be expected with this, because we are seeing some instances of winds up to 90 miles per hour. You got to think of that. That is really fast. That is over hurricane force. So guys, just please be safe during this storm. Obviously I can't stress it enough. But just please be safe during these. Here's that severe thunderstorm warning we just saw issued for this area here. Actually, take a look here. This is for 80 miles per hour, wind gusts. This is, radar indicated. This is showing that, this is an extremely dangerous situation with tornadic-like wind speeds expected. So this is going on. These severe thunderstorm warnings are not something you want to mess around with. These are a different breed of storms. These storms are much more meaner. These are what we call supercells. These storms are very, very violent. They're known for producing, quick rotation, in terms of thunderstorms, forming tornadoes and stuff. And they also are known for causing a lot of hazards, including damaging winds, especially today. Damaging winds is a huge concern today, as well as, the threat for, tornadoes as well as hail as well. We do have another EAS coming through, so let's go and listen to see what this one has to say about this. So let's go ahead and listen in and see what this one has to say.
The National Weather Service in Des Moines has issued a tornado warning.
A new tornado warning.
County in west central Iowa, northwestern Guthrie County in west central Iowa, northern Audubon County in west central Iowa, southern Calhoun County in west central Iowa, eastern Carroll County in west central Iowa, until 6 p.m. At 5:13 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado
it's right around here.
located 3 miles east of Audubon, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. Expected hazards include tornado. This is a radar-indicated threat.
Yeah, it's for around this area here.
Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Coon Rapids around 5:25 p.m. Other locations in the path of this tornadic thunderstorm include Jefferson. Take cover now.
Here we go. We got radar data back online.
Or an interior room on the
That's
lowest
good news.
floor of a sturdy
It looks like they might have fixed the problem here.
windows.
So let's go ahead and change back to central Iowa here in terms of radar.
Move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from
There we go. Okay, guys, we have our radar view back. Thank God.
tornado warning has been
So we're going to go ahead and close down this radar. We have our main radar back up and online, which that is good news. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the correlation coefficient side of things. Take a look here at the... This looks like that might be tornadic debris. It could actually be, some, hailstones or, pretty much just, basically some ice crystals up in the upper atmosphere. But, this tornado warning is showing that there is a tornado on the ground. We can actually look at this and see if it's tornadic debris. There actually is a little bit of rotation going on around this area. I mean, take a look at this. We're seeing those winds over 100 miles per hour, according to this radar view. This just shows you how crazy these winds are. Yeah, we're dealing with some really heavy winds with this system. This is up in the upper atmosphere, though. But it's just crazy to look at, It's just really kind of eerie. But we are dealing with a lot of, crazy stuff going on here. We'll actually take a look here back at the KOAX radar. This is basically in the eastern parts of Nebraska. Basically, this one is in the clear for the most part. We'll actually take a look here at the correlation coefficient side of things. So this is actually showing that there is, ice crystals in the upper atmosphere, which, in some instances actually might cause some hail for the most part. But we actually take a look at this. We actually do have a high density here of tornado warnings across this whole entire area here. This is all filled with tornado warnings. This goes all the way down from Spencer, all the way through Audubon, This is basically for bits of, eastern parts, or sorry, western parts, or west central parts of Iowa here. But there is several tornado warnings in effect across basically bits of Iowa, for the western parts of the state. Sorry, I should probably draw that a little bit better for you guys. We have a lot of these tornado warnings here in the red. We actually do have a few more in effect across the northeastern parts of Kansas, as well as basically northwestern parts of Missouri here. Several tornado warnings in effect. You can actually see here on the left-hand column. This is showing all of our warnings we do have out. We have a total of 25 warnings out right now. We actually do have some, snow squall warnings in effect across bits of southern parts of South Dakota, as well as, pretty much south central parts of Nebraska as well, with those snow squall warnings in terms of things. So, it's honestly kind of crazy. We are seeing the winter weather side of things, as well as pretty much across the areas. We actually are seeing, a lot of, severe weather as well. Tanner says, pull up Doppler velocity correlation coefficient. Yeah, we have been doing that for a little bit. The radar scope view has actually went down. They've actually had an outage. But luckily it's back on. It's actually luckily back on. I just got an alert saying that for Kansas City, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Kansas City. We'll actually have to take a look at that here in a second. But we're going to move on towards Kansas City here. Looks like we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Kansas City. We do have an EAS coming through, so we'll go ahead and listen. We'll have to take a listen to that and see what this has to say. So let's go ahead and zoom into this. We're actually going to change radars to KEAX, basically across bits of western Missouri here. So let's go ahead and take a listen to this. We have a new tornado warning.
Northwestern Dallas County in central Iowa, northwestern Adair County in southwestern Iowa until 6 p.m. At 5:18 p.m., a tornado-producing storm was located 7 miles northwest of Guthrie Center, moving northeast at 85 miles per hour. Expected hazards included a damaging tornado.
Okay, this is confirmed.
Debris has been confirmed by radar.
Oh gosh.
The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous.
Listen to that right there. There is a confirmed tornado. Looks like we do have another severe thunderstorm warning too.
And vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of southeastern Greene, central Guthrie, southwestern Boone, northwestern Dallas, and northwestern Adair counties, including the following locations: Dawson, Ripley, Perry Municipal Airport, Grand Junction, Yale, Beaver, Berkeley, Jamaica, Spring Rock State Park, and Black and Blue Game Management Area. To repeat, a tornado is on the ground.
Yep, there you go.
Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 6 p.m. for the following counties in Iowa: Adair, Boone, Dallas, Greene, and Guthrie.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to get another EAS coming on here because I think this is a severe thunderstorm warning. I could be wrong, but we did see this new one right here across this area here that was just issued. 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this one. So let's go and listen in and see what this has to say.
The National Weather Service in Des Moines has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Greene County in west central Iowa, Emmett County in northwestern Iowa, Webster County in central Iowa, Pocahontas County in northwestern Iowa, Eastern Tech County in west central Iowa, Kossuth County in north central Iowa, Calhoun County in west central Iowa, Humboldt County in north central Iowa, Boone County in central Iowa, Carroll County in west central Iowa, Palo Alto County in northwestern Iowa until 6:30 p.m. At 5:18 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Sioux Rapids to near Coon Rapids, moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. These are destructive storms for portions of central Iowa. Expected hazards include 80 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged. expect considerable damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles. Extensive tree damage and power outages are likely. Severe thunderstorms will be near Silver Lake and Rush Lake around 5:30 p.m. Jefferson around 5:35 p.m. Other locations in the path of these severe thunderstorms include Emmetsburg and Five Iron Lake. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for central, north central, northwestern, and west central Iowa. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 6:30 p.m. for the following counties in Iowa: Boone, Calhoun, Carroll, Emmett, Greene, Humboldt, Kossuth, Palo Alto, Pocahontas, Sac, and Webster.
Alrighty, guys. So we just heard the EAS go off. We have a triple header, I guess. This is kind of getting backed up by a lot of warnings, I think. Wow. Okay. Looks like we already have another one. This is a triple header. Let's see what it is. Okay, this is another severe thunderstorm warning. So we're just going to go ahead and go over the tornado watch here in terms of this. So you guys are new to joining our, if you're new to our stream here, we're going to go ahead and go over the current tornado watch here that we currently have in effect across bits of pretty much eastern parts of Nebraska. However, Nebraska is already out of this, severe weather threat. So guys, if you are in eastern Nebraska, this tornado warning is, tornado watch is still in effect. But just know that the storms are mostly east to you, in which, those thunderstorms are not really expected anymore. However, we do have that tornado watch in effect across basically northern parts of Missouri, central and western parts of Iowa being the strongest area we're seeing here with that, that moderate risk that we actually did see in effect. We actually do have this tornado watch including the extreme southern parts of Minnesota here as well. Showing the threat, we do have the chance for tornadoes. Overall, a high chance for tornadoes with the moderate chance of seeing tornadoes being EF2 to higher, basically EF2 to EF5. We actually do have the severe wind threat. We're already seeing, several instances of wind gusts potentially over 80 miles per hour. Some instances of 90 miles per hour here. For the chance of damaging winds as well as extreme damaging winds, we actually do have a high chance for both of them. Now, in terms of hail, we actually do have a low chance, but it is there for overall severe hail to occur. Basically 1 inch in diameter or greater here. We actually do have that chance for that severe weather to occur in terms of things. So that's basically what we're dealing with there. Now, if you guys have any questions, make sure you leave it down in the chat. I'll make sure to get to it. If you guys have any questions regarding this system. And if you are new to the channel, I recommend subscribing. It'll be greatly appreciated. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate all y'all's support. We absolutely crushed that goal of reaching 100 subscribers by the end of this year. We're already at 123. So, guys, if you are not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as leave a like. It'll be greatly appreciated. But that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of this tornado watch. The Storm Prediction Center actually even pulled up, instances of hail 1 inch in diameter or greater or larger. With that, that heavy severe hail threat as well, with a low 10% chance, but it is still there. We are seeing that widespread damaging winds expected with peak gusts near 90 miles per hour possible. We've already seen instances of maybe over 85 miles per hour is recorded from, some of those trained spotters here. So we'll actually take a look here at the, warnings inside of things. We'll actually take a look here back at the warnings in terms of what's currently going on. So we actually do have a lot of tornado warnings in effect across mostly just western side here of Iowa. We are seeing a lot of these. Tornado, or a lot of these warnings starting to be issued a lot more now. But honestly, this is kind of crazy. So what did they? What was that EAS for? Did they just cut that out? Okay, I don't know why they would issue the EAS for that. Usually they just come across, usually they only just come across that for like the, for the main hazard there, but they did just pull the EAS for that in terms of things. So we're taking a look here at that in terms of things. We'll actually take a look here back at the radar view across bits of the central parts of Iowa. We do have several tornado warnings in effect across the western parts here of Iowa, as we can see here. Across this area here in red. This is the red polygon showing tornado warnings in effect across basically the west central parts of Iowa. This is included in your moderate risk that we do have for severe weather for today. We actually do have that tornado threat as we actually are currently seeing unfold. We are starting to get kind of in the worst part of this system as we speak at the moment. Because earlier, this did kind of start in Nebraska. It tracked its way to the east. It is now fully out of Nebraska. However, we're starting to see the crazy stuff happen in terms of what is currently going on in terms of Iowa. Iowa is our big concern for today because we do actually have that moderate threat in effect, which we'll actually take a look at that here right now. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center. Like I said, we do have that moderate threat in effect. It looks like they just updated the moderate threat. In terms of all the severe or the Storm Prediction Center actually just updated the threat in general here. So we'll go and take a look here at this. This is your Day 1 Convective Outlook issued 31 minutes ago. You can kind of see right where this cold front is, how the sharp gradient of the risk here. But we do have that new Storm Prediction Center risk out. We do still have a 10% significant chance as well as a 45% chance of damaging winds. Pretty much the same thing. Nothing has really changed other than that threat being canceled for some areas here. But we do still have that moderate threat in effect across the western parts, pretty much just through the central parts here of Iowa, pretty much for the upper half of the state, and through basically southeastern parts of Minnesota as well as extreme western parts of Wisconsin here, with that moderate threat for severe thunderstorms. So basically across that area, you are expecting some severe thunderstorms in terms of damaging winds, as well as potentially some tornadoes. We actually might have the chance for some of them being large. So we do have another EAS coming through here. We'll have to listen in to see what this one has to say. They're really starting to pop off, so I think this might be just an update.
At 5:28 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Coon Rapids, or 13 miles southwest of Jefferson, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. Expected hazards include tornado. This is a radar-indicated threat.
So basically, Tanner says that the gradient is showing tons of debris. Yeah, you can actually see all the debris right here in terms of things. I don't know if this is hail right here. This is a radar-indicated threat for this one right here. All this blue that we see currently. This is probably just a radar picking up some, maybe some ice crystals in the upper atmosphere, or for bits of the atmosphere in general. Because we actually are relatively close to radar, so it is a little bit lower. But this is actually showing debris right here. This is likely debris that we're currently seeing here fall across this area. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground. But this one's the one we're looking at here near Scranton. This one's actually a radar-based threat, basically showing that this is a radar indicating rotation. But this one right here, basically just northwest here of Ankeny, you can actually see right here. Pretty much just this is actually the confirmed tornado that we currently do have on the ground, and we actually do see a decent amount of debris with this as well. Like pretty much just like how Tanner was saying there. It's kind of crazy in terms of that. So we're going to go ahead and go back here. We'll go ahead and take a look here at the moderate risk again. We actually do have that tornado threat in effect. 10% significant chance across this area here in yellow, showing that every single 25 miles you have a 10% chance of seeing a tornado EF2 to EF5. It's a decent chance for some big tornadoes today. However, these storms are moving relatively quickly as well. We actually do have that, other chance for the tornadoes, for the 5 and the 2% chance. These are just the general tornado threat across this area here in green and brown. Basically, if you are inside of these areas at all, especially the yellow area, you do have the chance for tornadoes today. Now, in terms of damaging winds, this one actually spreads out all the way from the central plains, all the way up through the Midwest and into the upper Midwest as well. With the mostly of those damaging winds, that 45% significant chance across bits of Iowa and through southeastern parts of Minnesota, showing that every single 25 miles, you have a 45% chance of seeing those damaging winds, likely being over 80, maybe potentially even 90 miles per hour. So we do have a crazy threat for some of those damaging winds for today as well. Damaging winds and tornadoes are the big threat for today. This storm is kind of crazy. This thing is really cranking up in speed. If we take a look at that, I mean, these storms are moving at a whopping. I mean, some of these are moving like over 80 or 90 miles per hour in terms of things. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy in terms of that. So and so we actually do have that hail threat as well. We pretty much just have the lowest threat for hail, pretty much across bits of the Midwest here, showing that every single 25 miles we have a 5% chance of seeing hail 1 inch in diameter or greater across this area here. So overall, we do have a small chance for hail. That's the least concern for today. Obviously, the biggest concern is winds and tornadoes. But we do have a triple threat in effect, showing that we do have the threat for all types of severe weather. But for the most part, it's mostly just, you know, damaging tornadoes. Damaging winds, and as well as some tornadoes as well. So we actually do have some snow that's currently going on across bits of southern parts here of South Dakota. We actually do have that snow squall warning, or that's in effect across bits of the southern parts of South Dakota. Basically, you know, poor visibilities is a concern here. Poor visibilities due to heavy snow is ongoing. You know, the Storm Prediction Center actually issued a mesoscale discussion saying that we could potentially see a blizzard warning being issued further down the line, which is, you know, quite concerning in terms of things. So, but that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of all of that. Now, you know, honestly, it's kind of impressive in terms of things. So, we're actually going to take a look here at the models in terms of things. We should take a look here at the models in terms of the HRRR. This is your high-resolution rapid refresh model. We'll take a look here at the latest model. I don't believe that it is updated yet, so we'll go ahead and refresh this page here. I think the 21Z is the latest here. So in terms of what's going on here, we actually do have all of this, you know, all the storms moving its way through bits of Iowa. We're currently located around basically across bits of, you know, west central parts of Iowa with the current storms that are going on here. This will continue tracking itself, you know, relatively strong area of low pressure across the northeastern parts of Nebraska now, pretty much across the southeastern parts of South Dakota. This will track its way to the northeast. It will actually pick up some strength, this area of low pressure. And all this severe weather will track its way across bits of southern Minnesota and through bits of western Wisconsin, through the state of Iowa and into bits of Missouri here with some of these storms. But the majority of the threat is for Iowa, as we are seeing, you know, a lot of tornado warnings being issued, a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings being issued as well. But we're having several EAS people coming off. This is basically just alerting, you know, updating all of these warnings and stuff. This might even be tornadic debris right here. Above here. It could be, I don't know, it might be, I'll have to take a look here. I mean, if I could, I wish I had my GR2 analyst up. You know, just to the southwest of Jefferson here, it does look like we do have something going on here in terms of, you know, what's up in here. We actually do have this sharp gradient here of, I do believe this is tornadic debris. So let's go listen to this. That's this tornado right